And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. You could be almost anywhere in the world if you're not in a total lockdown state, but you're right here with me, and I most certainly appreciate y'all for that. It's a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over social media, all over the news cycle. Hopefully we get some traction in the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Burisma Holdings, Ukraine kerfuffle. I hope. That's my wish. If I just had one wish today, at least, it'd be we get something done with that. That'd be great. Will there be anything done? I'm not really sure. Trump says takes hydroxychloroquine as a preventative measure against the virus. It's been proven to work very well all over the world, not just for this coronavirus, but also for SARS, also for rheumatoid arthritis, also for malaria, lupus, and many other illnesses, diseases, viruses, whatever you want to call them. But you know, people on the left, they don't like that too much. They say, hey, you can't talk about that. It's unproven, all this, that, and the third. Neil Cavuto had a meltdown. I can't say I was shocked, but I was just kind of like, come on, sir. You're on Fox. You're on television right now. Be a little bit more responsible with your language. You understand what I'm saying? It's really just kind of crazy. But I'm glad y'all are here. We have a lot to discuss tonight. Thank you for joining. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. We're going to get into all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. Once again, I thank y'all for joining. And shout out to His Gaze Incorporated for becoming a supporter of the channel. I thank you all. And if you're listening on an audio streaming platform, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, is it called? Anchor, Stitcher, wherever you are, you can give me a 5-star rating over there, review me, share me, whatever you could do. I most certainly appreciate you for sure. Shout out to Joe Rogan for getting $100 million for doing an exclusive deal with Spotify. That's wild. I mean, imagine doing podcasts and getting paid $100 million, and it's probably not even like just, it's probably not a lifetime deal. It'll probably re-up sometime in the future, which is crazy. So shout out to him. Yeah. Now there's a whole lot going on. The whole thing about the $75 million for illegal aliens, that's crazy. And I'm surprised it's not more than that. $500, why not $1,000? Why not $10,000 per illegal alien? And my thing is this, to go ahead and speak about that right quick. Gavin Newsom, California governor, is attempting or has already done or is in the midst of giving out 75 million US dollars to illegal aliens. Now, it's only going to be about 150,000 of them, so they're going to get $500 a piece. You know, that's no chump change, especially if you're here illegally. Now, since when did you become privy to taxpayer funds when you're here illegally? That's what I want to know. Do illegal aliens pay personal property tax? Do they pay state income tax, federal income tax? Do they pay anything like that? So why is my money going to them? Because let's be clear, California's in debt right now. 58 billion or so in the hole, and they want federal bailout monies to be able to shore that up. Talking about, oh, well, the reason why we're in debt is because of the virus. Well, maybe if you didn't spend 75 million on illegal aliens, you might have some money left over. You may have a balanced budget if you did that, just maybe, okay? And let's not act like California is like New York. It's not. Nowhere near. It's not like this big issue with the virus. LA County is no New York City. That's just not what it is. It's populous like that, and they have had some cases, but it ain't the level of New York City because it's more spread out. You know, so let's not even do that. But that's a power of money, power of corruption. It just keeps going on and on and on. You want more and more and more, and you get so crazy and so ridiculous to the point where you want to steal money from hardworking Americans. I am not a fan of it, not in the least bit, not at all. Hudson Jackson II says Newsom must be arrested. Hey, I'm with you. Newsom should be arrested. He should be, for sure, because it's like, illegal aliens, you giving them money. See, it's bad enough you got sanctuary cities. That's bad enough. Okay, you're harboring fugitives. You're talking about child predators, murderers, car thieves, home invaders, gang bangers, all of that kind of good stuff. Because let's be clear, the sanctuary law does not discriminate based upon what your background is. Okay, so if your background is of a child abuser, like let's say you tied up 13 girls in your basement, get caught, get locked up, go to jail, come to the U.S., and you're given safe harbor. See, you don't really care about what you got going on. They're not looking into your background and see what's happening with you. They're just letting you in the country, and you could do whatever. All they know is that you're illegal, you have no papers, you might not speak any kind of English. Okay, that's all they know. And they just let you stay. They won't let you get arrested by the federales. They're trying to block them out the way, which is ridiculous. It's like, okay, we got a raid we're trying to do. We're trying to pick up a bunch of criminals, dangerous people from them. We're trying to pick them up, and you're getting in the way because it's a sanctuary city. But I'll move on. It's bad enough to have sanctuary cities, but then you want to give illegal aliens a bunch of money. Now, how about this? You got sanctuary cities, right, where you got all kind of gangbangers, criminals, and whatnot having safe harbor. Then you want to give them money on top of that. So you want to give a MS-13 member a bunch of money, because, and then also it's easy to fraud this whole thing with the money that they're giving to illegal aliens. If the monies are for illegal aliens, why can't I say, my name is Jose Ramirez, my name is Oscar Gonzalez, let me get $500. I'm gonna have a fake mustache. Matter of fact, ain't gonna be no mustache because it's gonna be over the phone. So I could change my voice like this, and then now let me get the 500. Where you gonna send it to? Oh, send it to this address. It's all good. I'll send it to my grandmama's address. You wouldn't even know nothing. Sir, the name on this address is Esther McKnight. Don't worry about the name. Just send the money. How about that? You understand? But that's what's going on with this whole virus. There's a bunch of stupid things happening, and then they got to never talk about, we want a federal bailout. Federal bailout for what? Spend your money appropriately, and then you'll be able to do better. These lockdowns don't do anything at all. They're just really over the top for no reason. Matter of fact, I got to show you this clip from my man, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. And shout out to him. I'm glad that he won. I'm glad that General Butt Naked, a.k.a. what's the man's name? All I know him for is being butt naked now. That's his name. Oh, General Butt Naked. I forgot his name. The guy that got caught in the hotel with the drugs. Anyway, I'm glad he's not the governor, because if he were the governor, we'd be in a much worse situation in Florida, that is. I'm not a Floridian, but shout out to everybody there. If you had him, it'd be a much worse situation. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Oh, here's my man, Ron DeSantis. And let me pull it up right quick on the screen. And for those that can't see this, it appears, I'm not really sure where he's at. I see that he's with Mike Pence, but I'm not really sure where he is specifically. I thought it was the White House, but I'm not quite sure that's what it is. Okay, let's go ahead and check this out. Ron DeSantis, keeping it real.
Our data is available. Our data is transparent. In fact, Dr. Birx has talked multiple times about how Florida has the absolute best data. So any insinuation otherwise is just typical partisan narrative trying to be spun. And part of the reason is that because you got a lot of people in your profession who waxed poetically for weeks and weeks about how Florida was going to be just like New York. Wait 2 weeks, Florida's going to be next. Just like Italy, wait 2 weeks. Well, hell, we're 8 weeks away from that, and it hasn't happened. Not only do we have a lower death rate, well, we have way lower deaths generally. We have a lower death rate than the Acela Corridor, D.C., everyone up there. We have a lower death rate than the Midwest, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio. But even in our region, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida has the lower death rate. And I was the #1 landing spot from tens of thousands of people leaving the #1 hot zone in the world to come to my state. So we've succeeded, and I think that people just don't want to recognize it because it challenges their narrative, it challenges their assumption, so they got to try to find a boogeyman. Maybe it's that there are black helicopters circling the Department of Health. If you believe that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn I'd like to sell you. Last question.
There it is, right on point. Shout out to my man Ron DeSantis, right on point. I'm glad we don't have, oh, that's his name, Andrew Gillum. I'm glad we don't have Andrew Gillum, aka General Butt Naked, in there, just doing whatever he wants to do. Okay, leading incompetently. We got a good guy in there that knows what's going on. So shout out to him. All right, and they are pretty much open. They're ready to rock. If I'm wrong about Florida being open, you guys let me know in the comments. I don't mind being incorrect, but I think they're pretty much open. Georgia, same way. You're not seeing spikes in deaths in these places. See, what will happen when you watch the news, they'll try to smear Florida and Georgia, places like that have opened up. They'll try to say, oh, there's a spike in cases. But there was Pence April. Yes, it was. But what you will notice is that they don't say spike in deaths. They'll only say spike in cases. Now, why is there a spike in cases? Because you have more testing happening. Of course, there's going to be more cases. You got more testing. But since they don't say spike in deaths, but there's more cases, that lets me know that you have a lower death rate. You know what I'm saying? Because all you can do as far as the death rate is look at those that you have tested versus those that have died, or those that have died that become positive, which are included in the tested. And then, okay, you say we have X number of tested and or positive, and then Y number of dead, and come up with Z as your solution. But what you're missing is the total number of people that actually have it. And you'll never be able to find that unless you do more testing. And when you do more testing, you're going to find more that have it. That's natural. If you test 10,000 more people, you're going to find some in that group that have it, especially if they already have symptoms and they're coming in there to get confirmed when they were not confirmed before. That doesn't mean that they caught the virus recently, nor does it mean that they're going to die from the virus. What you got to look at is a spike in the deaths. That'll give you a greater determination if opening up too soon was a good thing or a bad thing. Because let's be clear, people are dropping dead from the virus ASAP. It's a quick acting virus, which is why the anti-inflammatory hydroxychloroquine works well, because it gives you time for your body to fight off the virus. That's what you're trying to really get, is time. People a lot of times get intubated and put on a ventilator because the time's running out. But if you're able to get more time, there will be no need to even go down that direction, because you have more time to fight the virus and beat it naturally, rather than getting put on a tube and probably ending up dead as a result, because your body is no longer fighting because the machine is breathing for it. You understand? So it is what it is. Yeah, mainstream media is Chinese propaganda, Dusty D. Hey, I was watching this video on Valuetainment. Shout out to my man over there, Patrick Bet David. He was talking about, or I saw in the beginning of it, they're talking about how China has a big stranglehold on the entertainment industry, especially movies. And it was one scene in the movie where it was a Chinese doctor wearing a mask. I was like, wow, really? Now, I'm not sure when that came out, but it kind of just gives you this whole thing. Like, there was no reason to have the Chinese guy there, but he was there. Okay, you got a Captain America movie. What are they doing in South Korea or Tokyo, Japan, or Beijing, Shanghai, some Asian country? Let's be clear. A lot of these places, although they may not be China, are specifically put in there to cater to China or to Asia in general. So the Chinese can feel like they're part of it. China is a big part of their market that they're trying to cater to. All right. Like, it's a really big portion of the money that they make is China. Same thing with NBA. If anybody can get a foothold in China, they're going to do it, because there's so much money to be made over there. They got a brand new middle class. And the issue with China is that they want to control you in order for you to make money over there. You got to pretty much be in bed with the government to make any kind of money. And that can affect us negatively because we get served propaganda constantly. So it is what it is. All right. Carl K, actually, they said 80% of those that get put on an event, 70 to 80% of those that get put on an event, at least in New York City, die. 70 to 80%. So it's like a death sentence because your body is not fighting off the virus. You don't have enough time to be able to, you know, at that point, your body just stops trying to fight because the machine's doing the work. Alrighty. Shout out to his gaze. And thank you for becoming a supporter of the channel, man. I really appreciate that. He says, we love you, bro. And we watch just about daily. Can't wait to see you debate again. Hey, I'm going to do some more debates, hopefully soon. You know, I get people talk about that all the time. They talk about some debates from the past. I'm gonna do some more debates for sure. Yeah, I think I will do some more debates. for me, it's fun. So I need to kind of get back into it. Thank you to Andrea, who says, ABL keeping it real. Hey, I can't do nothing else. Shout out to Bucala Buffalo, who says, Dershowitz saying the government can force vaccinations on people. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that he was saying that if the government says they can put you on a ventilator, it's pretty much a wrap and you have no constitutional rights. Yeah. I mean, not what I say, ventilator, vaccine. If they want to give you a vaccine, there's no more constitutional rights. They can just do whatever they want to do. I'm not a fan of that at all. Not in the least bit. And I don't want the vaccine. All right. So if you're going to force me to be on it, that's going to be a problem. I don't want that at all. So keep that vaccine far away from me. I don't want it, not in the least bit. And if you're seeing some issues with the comments and stuff like that, like I know one of my most recent videos, some of the comments didn't show up properly. If you're seeing any issues like that in this chat, not sure how it would manifest in the live stream, but it may be some issues with the view count and the number of chats that are in the box. If you're seeing issues with that, it's just YouTube going through a few changes. All right. Shout out to Ian Kinney, who says YouTube search Nabu leaks. The Ukrainians recorded their phone conversations with Biden and Kerry. Quid pro Joe, Ukraine held a conference. Now, I did a video about the phone conversations, well, somewhat about that today as it relates to Creepy Sleepy Joe. Not John Kerry, though, but definitely Joe Biden. And I put some of the audio on my website. I may put the whole thing on my website so you can hear it. But, I mean, what he said in the phone call is pretty clear. It's definitely quid pro quo. Hey, here's $1 billion we got for you. But guess what? We need you to go ahead and get rid of that prosecutor that's investigating Burisma Holdings. Okay, those were not his exact words, but he did say $1 billion, but hey, you got a prosecutor there, but you got to get rid of him. So you knew what was going on. It was pretty clear what was happening. And if anybody doubts it, there's audio of it. And matter of fact, Joe Biden himself admitted to doing it. That's also on my website. He was on a panel at the CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, ironically enough. And he was talking about what he did and was bragging and laughing about it. You know, he said that, we got this money, all this, that, and the third. And then he was kind of like threatening them. And they were bucking back, talking about, well, how can you do that? You're not the president. He was like, well, go ahead and call him, see what happens. And then they fired the prosecutor. You know, that's just really strong arm bullying tactics to me. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't see how I'm incorrect. I think I'm right on point for sure. Alrighty. Spring Hill Outdoors says the other day when ABL said the folks at the gym take your temperature at the door to make sure you get money. About fell out my chair. Yeah, man. You got to be good at the door for sure. And shout out to them. Hopefully they have not been shut down because I was hearing things that they got another not vaccine. They got another citation. So hopefully they're good and they're not going to be shut down. Thank you, Loretta. I appreciate you. And shout out to America's favorite Brazilian who says, ABL, how you been, doggy? Everything good? Everything's good over here. Can't complain at all. The military budget, I've not seen anything about the military budget, and at least not recently, so I don't know too much about that. Not at all. What else we got going on? There's a whole lot of things happening. Oh, did you guys see Fauci?
Right now,
like in March. Hold on. This was in March. Now, if you look at this, if you look this up on the internet, there'll be sites talking about, the video, taken out of context, all this, that, and the third. But this video is from March. We're only into May. So you're talking about what, 2 months ago? Not very long ago at all. So this is what he said then, although you've seen him recently picking his nose with a mask on. Let's check it out.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask, and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill.
Okay, so he says right there 2 months ago in March that masks should be for people that are ill and healthcare providers. All right. But regular normies out here wearing the mask like my man right here are just ridiculous. Are you seeing this? Okay. Now, you might not be able to see it. You might just be listening to it. But what I'm playing right now, and I pause it for a moment, is a video of a man wearing a hospital type mask with this big slot in the middle, and he's eating some food. I'm not sure what this is he has on his plate. Like some green beans, some chicken, mashed potatoes, and he's eating it really weird. And some of the food is falling off of the fork, and it's like the food is like falling off the fork. It's touching the lip of the open part of the mask and falling back into his plate, which is pretty gross. Like, imagine being this ridiculous where you get a mask with a big hole in it. And you know what? I'm not even going to judge this dude all the way. I ain't going to totally judge him because people were, trying to screech on me saying, hey, you got to wear a mask when you go to a restaurant. I'm like, sir, how are you going to eat food with a mask on? All right. It blocks your mouth. But maybe now I have my answer. Maybe my answer is here. Okay. You can get a mask that has a food port in it, which totally defeats the purpose of a mask, but whatever. It's 2020. So what? I thought we'd be in flying cars by now. We'd be like the Jetsons, but yet my man right here has on a hospital mask with a food slot in the center. And it's a guy that is, matter of fact, you can't even see the whole video. In the video, he had like a little thing. I don't know what this is called, like a little squeeze piece. And you can squeeze it, and that's what opens the mask up. And when it's not squeezed, the hole is kind of shut a little bit. You can still see visible air. If I could see visible air in it, that ain't gonna stop no virus at all. You might as well just be wearing that just for fashion, just for a joke or something like that. But he appears to be dead serious. I mean, dead serious. This man, like, I don't see the comedic factor. He's like super serious. That's where we're at nowadays. And it's like, okay, I've seen this in restaurants. We going out to restaurants, and I saw a couple with a mask on. Now, they took it off when they sat down, but my thing is, what was the point of wearing it to the restaurant? You're going to take it off when you sit down, and you got to eat, so what are we even doing? Okay? I'm not wearing the mask. If you want to wear one, that's fine. I'm not judging you, but I can't do it. I cannot do it. First of all, I can't be covering my nose. My nose is not a small nose. I'm used to being able to breathe through my nose. If I can't breathe through my nose and I'm suffocating, we got a problem. I'm not trying to choke to death from a mask when I'm not sick. I have no symptoms. I feel perfectly fine. I don't live in New York City. I live in an area where everything's spread out. Okay, you got to have a car. You can't just, hop in the subway or nothing like that. I don't live in no area where it's a real danger. So there's no need for me to wear a mask where I live at. Simple. Shout out to Joyce, who says 5 million in Harris County, Texas. That's Houston, right? 179 deaths. So 179 deaths out of 5 million people. I mean, you probably get more than that from the regular flu. So it's like, what are we doing? Loretta says, I'm an oral surgeon, and this is making me crazy outside of the operating room. I can imagine how it is. I can imagine, like, you're actually a professional, right? And you see things like that, and it's like, what is this? What are we even doing? It's madness. So I can imagine how it is for you, for sure. I would be the same. Like, I'm getting upset by being just a regular person, not a medical professional. But actual medical professionals just got to be going through the most right now. Cringing beyond cringe. I can imagine. Romir says, a crackhead on my block is selling masks. I don't doubt it. Not at all. I do not doubt it at all. And also, today I was driving out my own business, going to wherever I had to go to, and there was a guy in the mask in his van, mean mugging me. It's like, sir, what you mean mugging me for? I'm in my car. I'm by myself. Ain't nobody even in here. My windows are rolled up. It's raining. Get your eyes on the road. So don't look at me because I don't got no mask on. Okay, if you want to wear a mask in your car with nobody around you in that big creeper van, You know what I'm saying? You might get some kids in the back tied up, sir. Don't be looking at me mugging me. I should call the police, but different story. I'll move on. The whole point is that don't me mug. If you got a mask on, I ain't going to me mug you. That's fine. So don't me mug me. But if you like my man with the little slot eating food through it, I'm going to me mug you because that's just ridiculous. Don't do that. Do not do that. I've seen people with masks on smoking cigarettes. I've seen them with the mask up under here. It's like, okay, if you got your mask like right here, you got all kind of, as my man said, schmutz up under your neck. You've been sweating, playing basketball. I was like, what are you doing? I saw Fauci picking his nose through the mask. I was like, Fauci, what are we even doing? Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can find that. I'm going to find that Fauci clip with him trying to dig through. Here, right when I asked for it, it pops right up. Okay, hold on. Here it is. Wait a minute. I don't want to have the music in the background. Okay, this man is, first of all, touching his face, adjusting the mask, all kind of stuff. You know, messing with his hair, scratching, patting his jank. It's like, sir, stop. Picking his nose, fumbling, guilt. And then he put his finger inside the mask and started picking his nose. It's like, sir, what are we even doing? I think the whole mask phenomenon has got to come to an end. I'm sick of it. I'm tired. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't see more faux pas with the mask than I have seen successful usages of it. All right. Tim has a MAGA beanie for real. Is that right? Does he have a MAGA beanie? Is that fact? But thank you for being here. Definitely appreciate you. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video. I'd appreciate it. And if you're listening on an audio streaming platform, give me a 5-star rating over there. Share it, review it, do whatever you can on that platform to help me get rocking and rolling. And I really appreciate y'all. Yeah, the mask in the car is just crazy. Super crazy. I mean, you could at least have it kind of like off to the, and people are wearing it different kind of ways. A lot of these reporters are in the White House press briefing room. They're wearing it kind of like to the side. They're taking it off when the cameras go off. It's just crazy. But hey, it is what it is. I'm not mad at it. Fauci, a two-headed snake. That's correct. He is correct. All right. Oh, I can imagine, Brandon, Miami. Hey, I've been to Miami. Miami is super hot. It's just humid. But you know what? I went. It wasn't even the summertime. It was like November. Nah, like October, November. It was hot. You get off the plane and go outside the airport. It's a shock. It's like, good night. It felt like you about to just bust into flames right there on the side of the road. It was crazy. All righty. But what else we got going on here? Aside from Dr. Fauci picking in his nose through his mask. And that schmutz right there, your boogers and whatnot from your nose going onto the inside of your mask, and then you breathing that in. All righty. But what else we got? Hold on. Let me just see what I had on my list just to make sure I got everything that I want. And I'll read some of you guys' comments in a minute. Oh, shout out to all the businesses reopening on their own. I think it might have been on Twitter, that in Las Vegas, you got 1,100 businesses opening up on their own. They're not waiting on anybody to say you can do it. And none of that type of stuff going on. You're just saying, you know what? I'm going to open up. And if you do something about it, so what? I don't care. I'm open. And that's just pretty much what it is. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that right quick. 90 degrees today in Florida. Now, see, 90 degrees, and then on top of that, you got the humidity. I'm not sure if it's kicked in yet, but that humidity is something else. I mean, good night. You ready just to start, sweating. Like you're just going to get wet immediately as soon as you go outside. It's that tropical heat right there. All right, matter of fact, here it is. Okay. Let me see if I can pull this up on the screen. And it says LVMPD responds to 1,100 Las Vegas businesses not complying with Governor Sisolak's orders. All right, what's going to be the response? Now, of the 1,100 businesses, less than a dozen were cited with license suspension. Lieutenant Chio says suspending licenses is an exception rather than a rule. So what are they really going to do? If everybody's open, what can they really do? Just like my man that has a business in Jersey, the gym, Attila's Gym, I think that's in Baltimore, New Jersey, which is right outside the Camden, Philly metro area. They open up and they, I think we're given a citation later, but the police came and couldn't shut them down because all the supporters were out there. Everybody has their signs. Everybody's in support of the business. They're like 200 deep. What you going to do? Arrest everybody, shut everybody down? It's impossible. It's not a thing you can actually really do. Omar Adams says Topgolf opened up and they were shut down a day later. Fishers, Indiana. And you know what? I've been to Topgolf. I enjoy Topgolf. I miss Topgolf, actually. I want to go back to Topgolf, especially in Virginia. They got the level one. They're building one here. It's like a little driving range. But anyway, Topgolf is not even a spot that's like really close quarters like that. You're more close quarters at Walmart than you are in Topgolf, in my humble opinion. Okay, you got this wide open lane to yourself. You got chairs and stuff. It's like a bowling alley, basically, with golf. You're not going to be that tight up on one another. So there was no point of shutting it down. I don't really get it. They're shutting businesses down, and then they're going to have an issue with being able to generate revenue. That's going to be a serious issue, 100%. And then they're going to come to the federal government talking about, can you give us a bailout? No. How about open your business and raise your money that way? Don't rely upon the federal government for your funds because you don't want to stay open. And then, where was that? Was that Indiana, Omar? Yeah, Indiana. So it's like, you're in Indiana. What's the big deal? You're not even in a highly populated area. Matter of fact, let me look it up right quick. Fishers, Indiana. Where is that anyway? Hold on, let me see. Fishers, Indiana. Okay, you're outside of Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a decent sized city, but it ain't that big. It's not like Chicago. And Chicago, last I checked, was not some kind of epicenter. And Indianapolis is only like 878,000. Matter of fact, hold on. Not even. According to the 2018 estimates from the U.S. Census, the consolidated population of Indianapolis and Marion County was 875,000. So this is not a really big area at all. And they want to shut businesses down. Why? What is the purpose? It doesn't make any sense. But what do I know? Okay. Yeah, open that back up. Get some money. Now, I will say this about the police. The police aren't really enforcing these rules that much. Okay, you got certain little guidelines coming from the governor, coming from the mayor, maybe. But the police aren't really enforcing it because they understand that it's dumb. And they understand that it'll cause more problems than it will solve. Because I was saying this today with my man Adam. Shout out to Adam Lowe. I may upload that show I was on today called Man Up. I might put that on one of my channels or on my social media. But anyway, I was talking about this. And I was saying that when you start to give orders from the government, you know, like micromanage your life, or you can't go here, you can't go there, you got to go in your house, you can't be out past 8 o'clock, all this and that. And the third, there's going to be civil unrest. All right. Any little thing that happens, any little thing that I get irritated about, I'm going to lash out in a way that I probably shouldn't. Potentially. Not everybody, but some people are going to do that. And you're going to have civil unrest. You're going to have fights when it probably wouldn't normally be a fight with some people because you're being micromanaged to death. You're being told what to do. You have no freedom. You have no autonomy. So you're going to be upset and you're going to lash out. All right. So police understand that. So they don't want to provoke any kind of unnecessary violence. So they're simply going to just not enforce that many things as it relates to the shutdown. Now, some police are going to do it, but what they're going to find is that trying to enforce these things is not really worth it. You're going to end up creating more problems than those that were there to begin with. All right. If it's a guy on the beach by himself fishing, you go out there and try to arrest him. First of all, you got 3 guys, ain't nobody wearing no mask. You're not social distancing, and you're just invading his space. So if he had the virus, y'all got it too. So what's the purpose? So yeah, they're going to eventually just say, you know what? We're not going to enforce anything. Where I live, ain't nobody enforcing nothing. Okay? Ain't nobody enforcing nothing. The only thing I see that people are doing is in a restaurant, you have social distancing. But that's going to be gone at a certain point too. That'll be gone. Because what if a restaurant says, you know what? We're not going to do it. What are you going to do as an officer? Go to every restaurant in the whole city and monitor to see if they're doing it? Or what if you are an officer, you come by in the morning, right, and check to see if everything's straight, and you don't come back anymore? All they're going to do is just move that table, and then that's it. The issue that you have with this is people that are snitching. The Karens of the world. Oh, I was in X, Y, and Z diner, and they were not social distancing. They taking pictures, putting it on social media. That's the problem. The police are less of the problem, and the Karens are the bigger problem, because there may be certain rules that are supposed to be followed, but ain't nobody following it. The patrons aren't following it. The owners aren't following it. The police aren't enforcing it. But then it'll be one person to come and put it on social media. It gets national attention. The governor's involved. The mayor's involved. All this, that, and the third. Then they got to start cracking down. Even though the governor shouldn't be doing anything like that, that's kind of how it happens. In my humble opinion, that could be wrong, but it is what it is. Exactly, Ivory. Ivory says, funny, all the regular criminals disappeared. Got to get those surfers and swimmers. Lordy, exactly. Got to get them. You know, God forbid somebody goes outside, exercise, get some fresh air, get some sun, which they say you need. They're putting UV lamps in the subways of New York to clean up the cars because of all the bums when they're doing everything else they want to do in the cars, right? On the subway cars. So if they're putting UV light underground to clean things in New York City, then why can't I be outside at the beach? I was seeing people getting mad at the beach in Virginia because it appeared to be quote unquote crowded, but it wasn't even that bad, really. I mean, I'm from that area, Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I've been down the beach many times, more times than I can count. I've been down there for festivals, just kind of on a regular day, in the daytime, nighttime, whatever. And it does not get that, like, hold on, I gotta find a picture right quick. They're trying to say that it was super crowded and it was a big problem, but it was not really. You know, even if it was, you outside. That's the best place to social distance, outside. Okay. Matter of fact, I can't find it, but I had it somewhere. So yeah, it is what it is. The picture was not that bad at all. Matter of fact, I'm going to find that. Now, see, I always try to find stuff real quick, and if I can't find it, I get upset. Hold on. Because I know who has it. I'm going to go to their page and pull it up just so we can go ahead and so I can show you what everybody's upset about and what the Karens are talking about. Because people are taking pictures of these things and they're putting it on social media, and they're trying to get people in trouble for that. They're trying to say, oh, well, you shouldn't be doing this, all this, that, and the third. You know, that's generally the issue people have. Okay, here it is. Found it. Okay, so this picture got everybody in the uproar. Oh, they're crowded at the beach. Now, first thing, it's a real picture. I fact-checked it. I verified it. It's a real picture. It was taken, when was this? On May 16th of this year. But this picture is not that crowded because, first of all, it's from a high angle. It's from it's far away. You see the big buildings and stuff in the background. If you were up on it, you could not see the top of those buildings because they're really tall. All you would see is like up to like the third or the fourth floor. You would see like right there on that one. You wouldn't see the top of these really big tall ones like you do in this picture. You could be down the beach and it look just like this and be 20 feet away from the next family group. Easily, no problem. Okay. And like I said, you're on the beach, you got the sand, you got the sun, all of that beaming down on you. The sun at least ain't the sand beaming down on you, but you got the sun beaming down on you. That's the best place to be. If they're putting UV lamps in the subway cars in New York, why can't that be in a natural UV lamp called the beach, called outside? How are you going to regulate outside? That makes no sense at all. But hey, I guess it is what it is. I'm not even worried about it. Thank you for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. Shout out to all the super chatters right quick. I'm going to get to those and then I keep on moving. Let me see. Thank you to Jimmy B, who says, fear is a choice. Turn off CNN. Hey, you're right there. Right on point. Thank you to his gaze, who says, LOL, the creeper dude got a little mask on the kids. Shout out to Matthew Richardson, who says, Zelensky investigating Poroshenko for high treason. Interesting. Very interesting. Shout out to Caitlin Knox, hopefully I didn't butcher your name, who says, what do you think about Gavin Newsom mandating vote in by mail? Do you think they're trying to corrupt our elections? Can Trump do anything? Love you. Well, thank you for your donation. Most certainly appreciate you. Now, I did not see that he's going to mandate voting by mail, so you can't vote at the polls. So he's basically closing down everything until November. Is that what's going on? What's happening? I'm not really sure. But to answer your question the best I can, it's all about just trying to cheat. That's all. That's what California is known for, because they have illegal aliens. They're trying to get them to vote. No ID, that kind of stuff. They're trying to cheat. And there's no point in cheating because you can, well, you know what? I take that back. There is a point to cheating because they don't want any more seats to go Republican, like what happened with Katie Hill's seat. They don't want that to happen. So they want to be able to cheat. If a thing is going in the wrong direction, they want to turn it around to go in favor of them. That's what's going on, in my humble opinion. Because when you mailing in your vote and there's no ID, how do they know who you are? If you're dead or if you're alive or whatever, it'd be easy to cheat that way. Simple. Thank you for your donation. Shout out to Matthew, who says, I'll break law with my 9-year-old, climb fence to play in park. That's crazy. You got to break the law to play in the fence to play in the park with your daughter. That's crazy. Or your son. I don't know if it's daughter or son. I don't want to misgender anybody, but that's crazy. You got to break the law to play with your kids outside, to be dad. You got to break the law. That's crazy. Let me see. Carla says, my parents got sent mail-in ballots and I didn't. Same house. Exactly. What's going on with that? It's that cheating stuff. And then that's something else. They might not send out ballots to those who need them. They may send out ballots selectively. Oh, we require mail-in voting, but we just mysteriously did not send in ballots to certain people that vote Republican. You see, where I live, there's no registering Democrat or Republican. You just register to vote, right? But in certain states, you register to vote as a Democrat, Republican, or Independent. So what if you are registered to vote Republican and you don't get sent your ballot? And that same pattern happens to everybody. It might not be everybody it happens to. It may be some people it happens to. So let's just say out of those that vote Republican, 10% don't get their ballots. But if you vote Democrat, everybody gets their ballots. So you see what they're trying to do. They're trying to like discourage you from voting, making it more difficult. And then once they have your votes in the mail, it's easy to cheat. It's easy to just quote unquote lose stuff in the mail. It's a lot of different ways you can manipulate that system. Way too much for me, in my humble opinion. Thank you to Stephen Kemp, who says, do you think Trump should sign another stimulus to relax unemployed voters for the election? Republicans have to defend 23 Senate seats in November. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I don't want any more stimulus. What we've done so far is too much. They're talking about we've already spent like 6.8 trillion. I'll say that one more time. They say we've already spent or printed, whatever you want to call it, same thing, I guess, at this point, 6.8 trillion US dollars. So the next one, talking about another 3 trillion. So you're talking about what, $10 trillion? 10 trillion on top of the 24 trillion we had in debt. Where does it end? I mean, no, I don't think we're going to lose as a result of not doing more stimulus. What we got to do is just have our states open back up. That's it. That's really the solution. The stimulus is just way too much. Shout out to, hold on, I missed it. Justin Miller, who says, Who do you think would win in a drinking contest? Nancy Pelosi or Kamala, the queen of cringe Harris? Now, I don't know Kamala Harris to be a drinker. So Nancy Pelosi, I've seen her drunk quite a few times. And if she's not been drunk, I can't tell. So I'm rolling with Nancy Pelosi winning that contest in a landslide. Ain't no, hey, bar none, hands down, she'll win that. Alrighty. Let me see. Shout out to Steve Kelly, who says, open Ohio now. Hey, open it up ASAP. Open Ohio right now. Open every state up right now. We got to get it done. Bennett Arnold says, did you hear Oregon change Republican to nonpartisan, which eliminates your vote? So I'm not sure what that means. Now, as far as like how you register to vote or how you, I'm not sure what you're saying. So you got to explain that one to me. Hopefully they're not saying that if you voted for a Republican, that they're going to change your vote. Or if you are running as a Republican, they take that away from you to where people can identify what you are just easily by saying Democrat, Republican. Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully that's not what's going on. Gray says everything at Walmart is made in China. Yeah, exactly. So Walmart wide open, you can buy everything in the store, and that money go back to China. But you have a mom and pop business, small shop, made in America. No, we can't have that open. That's unsafe. That's not right. You can't provide any kind of safety for your people that live in there, that go there or whatever. We're not going to have that happen. But Walmart, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can go in there, touch everything, throw stuff on the ground. You got food and all that kind of stuff just out in the open, not covered up, people coughing and all this, that, and the third, and that's fine. It's really weird how that works. Okay, hold on. Carla says hotels and casinos open up June 1st. Oh, okay. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Open it back up. Perfect timing. Summertime. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. We'll do phone calls in a minute. Horror Scorpion. We'll do that in a minute. Probably about 15 minutes. We'll do the phone calls. Like normally what I do now is speak for about an hour and then get into the phone calls right around 9 o'clock. So I'll get to that for sure. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. Somebody said voter registration as far as Democrat, Republican. Because the way it is here is also, you can just register to vote. You don't vote with a party. So you can vote still, but you just are not registered on your thing with a party. So that's not really anything. Now, but I want to know how that actually works in different states as far as your party register to what it's now, to what it is now. How does it really work? I'm not really sure. Okay, so I'm reading it here. Bennett says, yeah, hold on, let me just pause for a minute. She says, yeah, vote stealing, changing political affiliation from Republican to nonpartisan. You cannot vote. You are either Democrat or Republican. I'm not sure how that really works. You can't vote at all? I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe I'm just not really picking up on it. But shout out to Shiva Vereen, who says, Karen Brzezinski lost it today. It was fabulous. Reopen the cold case. Now, who is Karen Brzezinski? I've not heard about this particular person. What's going on with that? Fill me in. Oh, you talking about Mika? Oh, yeah, Mika Brzezinski. That's hilarious. Karen Brzezinski. Oh, I saw that talking about Trump shouldn't be on Twitter. Yeah. Okay, my thing is this. You cannot remove the president from Twitter. It ain't going to happen. It's just not a thing. Okay, Twitter would get sued so much. Like Twitter would be in court every single day for the rest of their lives. They could not settle that case. There'd be no settlement. It'd just be constant court action. They would spend all the money they got. They would go broke trying to fight that case. And then on top of that, it'd be bad PR because people follow the president. The president has how many followers? Like 20 million, 30 million followers. I mean, he might be the most followed person on Twitter. So from a business standpoint, now he has 46 million followers. 46 million. I'm tripping. 80 million followers. He's only following 46, but he has 80 million followers. So, let's look at somebody like Beyonce. Okay, Beyonce has 15 million followers. Who else? Let's go Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has how many followers? Is she on Twitter? I don't know. I don't know these people. I don't think she's on Twitter. Let's look at The Rock. 14 million followers. These people, Trump is probably like the leading follow person on Twitter. I don't see how anybody can have more than him. I don't really, maybe some of these Korean pop groups, but not even them. So from a business standpoint, it'll hurt Twitter. From a PR standpoint, it'll hurt Twitter. From a legal standpoint, it'll destroy Twitter. So it will make no sense. Aside from, I think Jack, the CEO of Twitter, might hate Trump with all his soul. But business-wise, you couldn't do it. It just wouldn't make any sense. Alrighty. But let me see here. Yeah, and Twitter's a great platform for him because, Christina said, it's the only way to get his truth out. Because the Trump, you know what? And what's funny is that even though you can just read what he says on Twitter and everything's in black and white, you'll still turn on CNN and then they'll misquote a tweet. They'll put a tweet on the screen and they'll literally remove some parts of it. They'll highlight some parts. They'll read it on the screen without all of it showing. They'll highlight what they want you to see and then they'll just stop reading at the end of the highlight. Literally breaking apart tweets to push a narrative. It's wow, you got to be just the biggest moron on planet Earth to do something like that. And I think that I'll just believe it. I'm going to just take you chopping up tweets like that. It's crazy, but it is what it is. Okay, Taylor Swift has 86 million. I couldn't find her on Twitter for some reason. Oh, there it is. Okay. So she has 86 million. Yeah, that's about right. She's one of the international superstars. And I can tell you right now, I've never in my life decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just play some Taylor Swift in my car. I've never turned on the radio and was like, hey, that's a great song from Taylor Swift. Just play that. I'm never really, I'm not, so I don't really know too much about that whole world. But I do know that she's really popular. That's all that I know. Okay. Oh, Hillary Clinton. How much does Hillary Clinton have? How many followers does Hillary Clinton have on Twitter? Hillary Clinton has 27 million followers on Twitter. How about Mr. Barack Obama, the guy that said is more popular than Trump? I mean, yeah, more popular than Trump right now. How many does he have? Barack Obama has, 117. Very good. So he has a really big following, 117 million. But he's following 600,000. So how much of that is real? How much of that is fake? I won't go down that road, so I'll move on. Alrighty. Yeah, Obama's number one. That's right. I ain't mad. But like I said, he's following 600,000 compared to Trump's 45,000. So how much of that is real? How much of that is fake? How much of that is a PR firm making those numbers happen? I've seen that type of stuff go on. I've been behind things like that where you got people that, work on your thing to give you more followers. I don't want to speculate. I'm just saying. Shout out to Nature Boy Alfie, who says, great show as always. Have you heard about the stabbing death of Rosalie Cook by 67 prior arrest, Randy Lewis? Oh, thank you for this. Okay, so this is a elderly lady, almost 70. She was let me find out how old she was. Rosalie Cook, stabbed to death by a guy that had been arrested almost 70 times. She's 80 years old. Okay. 80 years old, killed at a Walgreens by a guy that had been in and out of jail so much. His arrest record is just ridiculously long. Okay. Now, his bond was waived. So he had just committed a crime. His bond was waived back in April, on April 30th. So this is not even a month ago, for a charge of assaulting a public servant from 2 years ago. All right. So he probably should have been in jail right now for that. And to be arrested that many times, you should have not come out of jail anytime soon. obviously this guy's going to be a career criminal. How do you get arrested that many times? What are you doing? And what is the, how are you out? How can the system in that particular place operate so poorly? That's my question. Where's the riots? Where's the protests? Where the, anybody doing a jog? Anybody doing a run for her? For this, for this grandma? Anybody doing a run for her? Nope. I didn't think so. It really sad. RIP to her. Rest in peace to her. Really sad. Prayers out to the family. But that's what happens when you don't have the appropriate criminal system, when you don't have the appropriate legal system to lock guys away that should be locked up, when you operate more on feelings and trying to, quote unquote, just, help the underprivileged and waive your bond, all this, that, and the third, you're going to get really bad consequences. Some guys need to get locked up, and he was one of them. Unfortunately, he was not locked up. Now, somebody's grandma, somebody's mom, somebody's friend is gone. Really a shame. Thank you to Mandatory Carry, who says, be smart about reopening and hashtag keep fighting. Back to work. There you go, man. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Oh, yeah, the guy's dead. That's right. The guy, I think he got into a shoot up with the police and he's dead. So that's good that he's dead. It is what it is. Let me read this article right here. Now, Lewis was charged with assault several times, as well as theft, trespassing, and possession of marijuana, plus burglary of a vehicle. Hey, it happens. Let me see here. Is he dead? I think he is. Yeah. All right. So a police officer arrived a short time later and found Lewis inside Cook's car trying to start it. So he killed the lady, then tried to steal a car. According to Acevedo, when Lewis refused commands and lunged at the officer with a knife believed to be 6 inches long, 2 shots were fired and the guy died at the scene. The killer of the old lady died at the scene. So it is what it is. Really, really unfortunate, really sad. Yeah, he dead. That's right, Southeast Dusty. He dead. He dead. All right. Super chats on deck. Let me get to those right quick. Shout out to, let me see, Twin Glocks, who says, hope Trump will be commander-in-chief during my enlistment. Vote everybody. Yeah, hopefully so. And shout out to you for being out there protecting us. I really appreciate that. And everybody must vote. Don't take it for granted. We don't have it in the bag. Not yet until you go out there and vote and make sure it's in the bag. So like I said before, I don't care if it's for dog catcher. I don't care if it's for whatever. Your dog cleaner, your groomer, the county paint operator. Go out there and vote. And most certainly vote in November for President Trump and everybody else that's on the ticket. Shout out to Matthew, who says, Obama, more followers, half robots, other half NPCs. Exactly. Exactly. Shout out to everybody for being here. You guys are great. Yeah, and the lady passed away. She was killed, actually. That was in Houston. Yeah, these liberal areas that don't have really good safety. It's not really safe because you letting guys like that out on the street that killed the old lady. And then on top of that, they want to restrict guns. So it's like, how you going to make it intentionally unsafe for letting these guys out on the street and then say I can't have a gun? How does that make any sense? If you're going to put dangerous predators on the street, let me have a gun to protect myself. How about that? That might just make sense. Or you could do something that's really just outside the box, extraordinary. How about lock criminals up and let me have my gun, which is my right? How about that? All right. That's a good point, too. Wilma Flintstone, who says, work the polls as well. Just in case there's to be a ballot counting for some reason. Yeah, work the polls, volunteer if you can, just to make sure everything's on the up and up. If you got to count the votes, just, make sure you can do everything in your power to make sure that things are good and that votes aren't stolen, that votes aren't taken away or anything like that. Very good point. Absolutely. Yeah, and vote in person. I'm definitely going to vote in person for sure. I'm not doing no mail-in ballot. I can understand if you're in the military, you're going to be out. But if you can go to the place and vote. Thank you, Todd. Todd says, ABL, you have a really cool bunch of followers. I'm really impressed by you and all of them. This is pretty sweet. Hey, thank you. I really appreciate that, man. I try to keep a good community over here. And it's just me just being myself, you know, having good people that come and support and watch the show. They really enjoy it. So thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know, one thing I do is I just keep myself being me. I'm a clean guy. I'm a straight edge guy. I'm just that same way here. So it brings a good crowd. All right, wow, 9 o'clock already? Good grief, time flew away from me. I didn't even realize it. Let's get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. I won't mute it this time for the first minute. I'll make sure that we get money with that. So let me get to fixing myself right quick before I answer. Okay, everything's good with that. Let me just turn off my ringer so you guys don't hear the doom 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 in the background, and we can go ahead and get rolling. Again, the number to call is 434-658-1220. If you want to get in through Skype, there's an email for that in the description box below. Let's get into it. All right, Matt, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, how you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, I was touching base on this whole Poroshenko phone call leak with Joe Biden, and the latest news is that Zelensky is opening a criminal or calling for a criminal investigation into Poroshenko for high crime, treason.
Wow.
And it has to do with Shokin being described. You know, he was the prosecutor in Ukraine investigating Burisma. He's taken an oath and said that he has, in fact, what had Hunter Biden under investigation. So, and then I think Barr and Durham actually have a statement from Shokin on that through Giuliani. But Poroshenko said that Shokin was not corrupt in the leak. He said, "You don't understand. He's not corrupt. It's going to be very hard to get rid of him." But besides the fact, I did you that huge favor. I got rid of him and I asked him to resign. And then he put forward a new prosecutor that he described as being old and not an activist, you know, basically with no axe to grind, somebody that was compliant. So this whole thing is going to go down in Ukraine, apparently.
Wow. So that'd be a pretty big impact on Joe Biden too, wouldn't it?
I think so. And people are blaming it on Trump, but I'm sort of like, he didn't even come down the escalator yet. I mean, he wasn't even around for all this. So this is it's a Ukraine thing.
Right. That's all Ukraine. I mean, that's something they got to work out. And maybe Barack Obama got to work it out. I don't know if he can say, if they can say Barack Obama's involved with it. Probably not. Probably just on Joe Biden, Hunter Biden as well. So that'd be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. I mean, right now, especially the timing is crazy. They're talking about, Biden can really beat Trump. It's like, really? First of all, when you see him out there, doing these little live streams, and when he was on the campaign show, like he had one foot in the grave. He looks terrible. He's not a good candidate. Has a spotty past, bad person. And then on top of that, you got this corruption happening right now. So it's looking really bad. It's looking like I said before, it's looking like Walter Mondale in 1984.
Yeah, I don't think Biden can open a bag of chips. If you gave him a bag of chips, he would have to hand it to somebody to pull it open.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
I mean, he's not very potent. And then in terms of the leaks with the Flynn thing, a lot of people are comparing this. They're saying, well, Trump, was trying to leak this and that and stuff like that, but. This Scooter Libby went to prison, and he had to have his sentence commuted by George Bush. I think it was like one of the things that Bush and Dick Cheney really fought over, was that he wasn't pardoned, full pardon, but he was a leaker. He leaked Valerie Plame's identity to the press in order to get after her husband over the yellow cake uranium thing. But I just want to know a leaker is going to go to prison. I just got to know that at least one of them, that it's possible, because I think, to my knowledge, other than like Reality Winner and, Bradley Manning and these types of people, leakers don't go to prison unless they come out against the NSA or something. But if they come out against Trump or any Republican, they're whistleblowers. They're not leakers.
Yeah. I'm seeing that a lot now. They're kind of like praised and celebrated as whistleblowers. It's like, well, wait a minute. Is that what they should be called? I'm not sure that's the correct term. I picked up on that.
And then the last thing I want to leave you with, I sent you a link. I haven't heard about Sweden recently. You're talking about reopening and everything like that. So I went back right while you were talking, and I just Googled Sweden, and I hit the news just to see what's up there. And everyone's saying Sweden has basically just ruined the country. Oh, they're having a record number of cases and all this, and they basically they're not a model for anybody. But I sent you a link of the latest CDC reporting data today on deaths per capita, and it's in the LinkedIn. But I would share that. It kind of seems like Sweden is surrounded by countries that locked down that are way worse than they are. So I don't know how, like, just speaking to them in terms of a quarantine enclave, of just having their businesses open and everything like that. I don't understand how they're worse than anybody else. It doesn't make any sense by the numbers. But these scientists and these statisticians that crunch these things and produce these news articles, they're smoking it. I mean, they're on something. I don't see the trend.
Now, where's the link? Is you send it to my email, or where is it at?
Right in the LinkedIn, or excuse me, in the Skype.
Okay, Skype. I got you.
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how the left will talk about Sweden all the time when it benefits them, and talk about their social programs and stuff like that, and how they're open to outside the immigrants and whatnot, the migrants. But then when it comes to this, and the actual professionals talking about it, the professors and medical professionals, they're tight-lipped, or they want to just ignore it all the way. They don't want to say anything about it. It's really weird how that works.
I don't. If you would have told me 6 months ago that the Democrats would be shutting the schools down, I would have said you're smoking it. But I don't know how there isn't like some kind of a violent revolution going on right now. I'm lucky because all my business is out of state, and my employees, we keep it on the DL. We just come in and do what we need to do. But if I was a teacher or owned some kind of a business that had an open door, nothing's going to stop me from coming in.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right, man. I really appreciate you and your show. Like and subscribe, guys. Take it easy.
Thank you for the call.
Bye.
All right. Thanks to my man, Matt, for the call. Always a great call. And you guys, appreciate you as well. The number to call, 434-658-1220. The Skype email is in the description box below. I'm going to watch that documentary or that series, Paul J, on Waco. I want to see that for sure. Yeah, I was just watching the thing about cults last night. I saw some crazy cults. Some crazy stuff going on. I seen it. So I definitely want to see that one. And I want to see the conclusion, how that whole thing went down, who was right, who was wrong, the whole 9 yards. 301, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Ben Bussey, Tacoma Park, Maryland. Just want to give you an update on what's going on out here in Montgomery Park. But first of all, I wanted to say, I just want to ask the question: is there, to myself, is there anyone out there in the fake news media that is listening to you right now? So this is getting the real deal before they go back to work tomorrow and come out with a lot of craziness. It seems like to me that the fake news media is their fairy tale compared to you bringing the real news, and you and other brothers and sisters like you. And also I have something about the fake news media I've noticed is they have a fake speaking technique. And this go back for years as I was looking at the news, but they speak in such a way, even the men and women, no matter which news station you look at, or you might catch a news station on YouTube, they all use the same speaking technique. And also here out in Montgomery County, it's off the chain, man. Like I had to go to the doctor today to pick up something before they even let me into the doctor's office, into the office itself. They put up a device to my ear, and hit me with I guess it checks your temperature. And so that to extrapolate that out, that's happening to thousands and thousands of people in Montgomery County every day. And also the mask situation out here in Montgomery County, you can't get into a supermarket unless you have a mask. You can't get on the bus unless you have a mask. So, and it's really deep. And also what's strange, and maybe you can break it down, somebody can break it down, we have a Republican governor. And so that's all I wanted to hit you with tonight, man. And thank you for what you bring and all the people that comment in. I learned a lot, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Okay, got it.
All right, shout out to him. to talk about the whole thing about the governor and, you know, you got to wear a mask and stuff like that. And where he's at in Maryland, Tacoma Park, which is like DC area, if I'm not mistaken. The individual cities, counties, little townships, they have their own rules usually. And a prime example is out here where I live. The governor, Bill Lee, is not talking about masks. He's less restrictive on trying to control things. You know, he wants to kind of get everything back on deck. But the county I live has a city in it. Okay, you got Hamilton County and Chattanooga, right? You got two mayors, the county mayor, which is the whole big area of Hamilton County, and then the city mayor of Chattanooga. And it kind of makes sense when you understand it because you got different little towns that are kind of unincorporated that are part of the county. And all those towns come together as one kind of pseudo city around Chattanooga, and they have the county mayor as their mayor. But anyway, the county mayor says, open up. The city mayor says, shut down. The people said, we're going to open up. So the city mayor kind of got overruled. But you can see how it's different from city to city. And even in the same place, like you got the same, like we're in Hamilton County, the same place has different opinions from those that are in charge. So it all depends on where you live, really. That's just really the bottom line, the long and short of it. All right, caller, who am I speaking to? Oh, this is Nat Turtle. What's going on?
What's up? What's up? What's up, man?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
You know, same old, same old. Pardon my shirt was helping my babies make cake.
Oh, no doubt.
So, I want to talk about our governor in California.
All right.
Now he wants to give $75 million to illegal immigrants, right?
That's right.
Yet, we're sitting up here, out of work, in LA County. It's still locked down, and they're talking about another 3 months. People are losing their business, and he's giving $75 million to illegal immigrants. What am I missing here? What's up with that?
I'm trying to figure it out myself because you got people that are legal citizens, following the law, doing everything by the book, doing everything right, got businesses, had them for a long time, all their life, trying to feed the kids. You could come over here illegally, probably not even be from California. Like you could be coming from Nevada, Arizona, Mexico, like right now to come and try to get that money. And that's okay. It's kind of ridiculous. And then on top of that, he wants a federal bailout because of the virus. But how are you going to get a federal bailout and then give some of that money to illegal aliens? How'd that work?
I don't know, but I'm illegal tomorrow. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. It's like, how are they going to tell if you're legal or illegal?
They're going to ask you some questions. What country are you from? I'm going to say Guadalajara.
Yep.
And then that's going to give me what I need. So, and that's the thing. They gave us a rent and mortgage moratorium, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have to pay that back when this is over.
Sure do.
So couldn't that money have gone to helping the people that are going to be suffering and having to pay that rent back? Couldn't that have gone to the landlords so that we wouldn't have to worry about paying that back? Wouldn't you think that that would be something a little bit more useful for us to spend our money on? But he's going to take our tax money, our extortion funds, and use it to pay people who essentially don't pay taxes. Now, if you hear the argument from the other side of this equation, they'll tell you that illegal immigrants do pay taxes, but because they get fake numbers and all that stuff so that they can appear legit, so they can get real jobs. But that's irrelevant because guess what? We're paying in the taxes. They get that they get part of that $75 million. We don't. So it just pisses me off, man. And this is why I don't like the government. Okay, particularly a representative democracy or a Republican or a constitutional republic, because what we're doing is we're going to vote for these people to make decisions for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that they'd have our best interests at heart, but 9 times out of 10, if our interests don't align with theirs, we ASS out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is the problem I have with it. They can give you all the fluff they want. They can pander to you. They can whisper sweet nothings in your ear. At the end of the day, once they get in office, they do whatever they want. And what do we end up doing? If we don't like something, if enough of us don't like something, what are we doing? We're going down to the Capitol building, right, with signs, and we're begging for our freedoms. We're begging for this, begging for that, asking them to open this up and let us have that. It's counterproductive. Why not just cut out the middleman and live as freely as we can without all that?
I see where you're coming from. Like me, I say have as small as government as possible. I like for the government to be kind of like in the backgrounds where you don't even notice them. They're just there,
right,
just handling the big stuff. But
you know what we need the government for? Okay, we could, if we have conflict with a foreign nation, and we need to put together our forces. Go ahead, baby. So we put together, let's say you have all these sovereign states or sovereign communities. We can come together for common interest. Like, let's say China wants to try to invade. Okay, we got to put our heads together to make this not happen. When that's over, we go back to minding our own business. Small as government as possible, like you said, because some people are going to want that. Some people are going to want to be governed. Some people are going to want that type of system. That's fine. You can have that in your own little world over there. But for us, those of us that don't even want a small amount of government, we should be able to do our own thing too, as long as we're not harming anybody. But when you give these people too much power, you see what they do with it, right? They give hard-earned money. They just hand it out. They give these sanctuaries and amnesties, and it's ridiculous. They co-opt these hotels and put homeless people in it. Like I'm so done with government. And in terms of policing, right? I have the solution to everybody's issue with policing for both sides. I have a solution that will alleviate everybody's problem with policing, for those that like the police and for those that don't really appreciate them. Disband the municipal police departments and allow the people to hire private police forces so that there's competition between, let's say you got to compete for the business of that community if you want to secure that neighborhood. What does that do? That gives the person that is part of that force incentive to provide good service to the people, because that's really what you need to do. You need to serve and protect the people, right? So if you hire a private police force like they did in Detroit when it went bankrupt, remember that?
Yeah,
I know. Detroit went bankrupt and the police left the state, Michigan, and so the crime. What did the police chief say? He said, "Look, our response time is 2 days.
Wow.
So you better arm up and be ready to protect yourself." He's telling these people in this community, like, look, you got to be willing and ready to protect yourself with your own firearms and all the other stuff. So what they end up doing, they end up hiring private security to protect their neighborhoods. So sometimes you have to take it to that level. And when you hire a private security force that does essentially the same thing as the police would, except, there's a lot better trust, a lot more communication going back and forth, a lot better communication, and it won't be all these problems we're having. Because right now, it's so much division, right? There's so much divisiveness when it comes to the policing. Would you agree?
Well, yeah, but I'm not sure that having the private forces would necessarily solve it, because then at that point, I'm saying talking about competition, but then at that point you have liability issues, you have issues with, performance and stuff like that. And then it's like, if there's a problem, where's the accountability? I think there's more accountability and oversight with the police, because you got layers of government and stuff like that above them.
Well, the accountability. So if you have smaller communities, those forces won't be connected to outside or bigger government, as you would say, right? They will be held accountable by the people of that community. The people will have to handle that, right? It's private. So the people of that community, if people get out of line, there would be a lot more accountability. You would have to have a private accountability committee or something like that to oversee them. Right now, what you got is you have internal affairs, which is part of the very police department that's out on the street. So, and then it takes a lot to get a police department looked at by the FBI and all that. But I see what you're saying. I see that side too. It would just, the people would have to have accountability over that force. It's because the way things are right now, it's just too much. It's too much finger pointing. No one wants to take responsibility, right? No one wants to take responsibility. You say something about policing, corrupt policing. You say, well, I hear people say, oh, well, blame the governor, blame the mayor, don't blame the police. Like, no, everybody's responsible for their own actions, right? First. So the individual that's committing these acts, they have to be held responsible first. And then if their superiors sweep it under the rug, then they're held accountable. So once everybody's accountable for their own actions, once people are held accountable for their own actions, they can't throw it on a fraternity of or a police order or whatever. They can't throw it on the mayor. Just like with people on the street, civilians, you have to be held responsible for your own actions. You can't just throw it off on somebody else. Like me, if I do something wrong, I can't say, oh, well, my wife wears the pants. She controls what I do. I know I kicked that old lady down the stairs, but hey, my wife,
right?
She,
I got you.
You got to put me in this position. So everybody has to be accountable for their own actions.
I'm with you, man. But hey, yeah. Thank you for the call, though. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right, peace.
Peace.
All right, shout out to my man, Snap to the Gorilla, a.k.a. Snap Turtle. Good call. And shout out to you all for being here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let me go ahead and get on to it. Let's go. 239, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hey, BL, how you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain. About yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. I mean, my girlfriend had a relative who recently passed from COVID-19, so we've been kind of handling that. But other than that, I've been doing pretty well.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. I had two questions for you, like always.
Alrighty.
Sorry I haven't been listening to your show lately. I've been out of the loop with a couple of things that I've had to do, especially since I just reopened my shop, so I'm getting all that going. But I heard this one story, and I don't hear it in the mainstream media too much. I haven't heard it in the mainstream media, but I know you have, because I know your coverage of it. And it's about that black shooting with the two people in Georgia, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Where they shot a black man for running, and they shot him, and some people are telling me like, oh, that was a hate crime. Other people are telling me no, that wasn't a hate crime. That was just ignorant vigilanteism. And in the places where I usually go to get my news, I'm getting really mixed stories on that. And I was wondering your take on it. Is it racial in your opinion, or is that or was that just plain ignorance, vigilantism?
Well, I don't think that it was race related. It could be, but I don't see any evidence of that. Nor was vigilantism. I think what happened was they thought he was like a burglary suspect, and they were trying to chase him down or at least follow him to do citizen's arrest. In Georgia, you can follow somebody if you think they committed a crime. And what happened was this guy was walking through a neighborhood, and it's all on camera, it's on tape, walking through a neighborhood, and then there's a house that's like under construction, but it has a full facade outside, but if you were right up on it, you probably would see the garage doors not on, and you could see in the house, you could see that it's like, under construction. You got wood everywhere on the ground. It's not totally finished. So he pauses for a minute and then darts inside. That's what the camera shows. He's in there for a while, just looking around, probably about 3 minutes. He doesn't take anything. But one of the neighbors sees him. They probably say something to him, and then he jets out. He runs away. So at that point, they get into a truck and follow them. Now, I thought it might have been overzealous because, he didn't take anything. You didn't see anything on him, but they have that right to follow him lawfully. So they're following him for a while. It might have become a chase at one point, and then the camera from a guy that is behind them shows that they're on the side of the road parked in their truck. And then the guy that was running, that was in the house, comes up behind the truck and then goes to the right of the truck and comes out over the hood, not like literally over the hood, but goes around the hood and goes to the left side of the truck. And one of the guys has his shotgun on him. Like, I don't mean trained on the guy. I'm talking about on his person. He's carrying a shotgun, which is legal. So the guy that's running comes up on him and rushes with the gun. Now, when this happens, the gun goes off. I don't know if it went off accidentally, if he shot him intentionally or what, but the gun goes off. Maybe he shot him, maybe he didn't. I think he might have shot him 2 more times after that, because I think it might have been 3 gunshots. And then he dies on the scene. But people are saying he was chased down. It was racism, vigilante action.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
I have a friend who he's African American also, and he only gets his news from the media. And he was talking about like, oh, any black person who says this isn't a hate crime isn't really black and whatnot. And I thought to myself, like, I hadn't heard the media like weaponize this, like they did, like Jesse Smollett or Trayvon Martin and all that. But yet he still thinks that. And I was wondering, like, has the media weaponized this? And if not, why haven't they?
Well, I mean, sort of. Yes, I'm not tuned into the media as much as I used to, but they kind of have. I mean, the only reason why it's a story at all is because of the racial element. So they are kind of weaponizing it. It's not as much as Juicy Smollett, but they are talking about it a lot. It is a really big thing. But it shouldn't be, because, this kind of thing happens a lot. It wasn't police involved. It was just regular citizens. Now, one of the guys was a former officer, but he was not a police officer when this whole thing happened. He was actually former law enforcement. I'm not really sure if he was a police officer or whatever. He was former law enforcement, but he was not an officer or anything like that during the situation. So people that are civilians get shot and killed by other civilians every day, and it's not really a big issue. The only reason why it's a story is because of the racial element. I can guarantee you, if everybody that were involved were white, there wouldn't be a problem. If everybody that were involved were black, it wouldn't be a problem. If the shooters were white and the victim if the shooters are black and the victim were white, then it wouldn't be a problem. The only reason why it's a problem is because the whole victim narrative of black victim and white killers can be pushed. And then that's used to further this whole narrative about Trump being bad because he's emboldening them and white supremacy being real. It's a motive behind it. That's really the only thing behind it. And the reason why they're doing it is because they've been doing it. It reminds me of Charlottesville. They keep talking about that. Only one person died, and it was a white person. How is the issue of white supremacy going to get pushed when a white guy kills a white woman? It doesn't make any sense, but that's the kind of narrative they want to push.
Right. And my second question to you is this. and I'll make this one quick. Now we have Obamagate, and we have surging just now also the new Ukraine scandal thing coming up on Biden. Do you think any of these is actually going to hit him hard? Because I remember talking to you last time, and you didn't think that the Tara Reade thing was going to hit him pretty hard. Do you think these will do it? This will be enough to like kick him out, or do you think they're going to sweep this under the rug again?
I think that it won't really be a big deal in the eyes of the media, but if there's a legal problem, then he might have some issues. If there's like a legal challenge there, if they really like go and try to pursue it and investigate it and they find some dirt, then that can be a problem. But the accusation, just to talking about it alone, that won't be an issue at all. But if there's anything that is there legally, it's going to be a problem.
Just leaked.
Huh?
There's a tape that just leaked.
Yeah,
There's a video, voice recording that just leaked about him talking about like, yeah, you better get that guy out of there. And then now we're going to give you your billion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the leak is good, but all it did was confirm what Joe Biden already said on TV. He was speaking in front of the Council on Foreign Relations years ago about it. He admitted it on TV. It was him. He had a microphone in his hand. He was being recorded. It was a crowd. It was an audience. He had guests. So he knew he was being recorded, and he said it right there in the open. So he wasn't ashamed about it or anything like that. And then when he was asked about it, he didn't really deny it because he already said it. So the tape just kind of further, it kind of doubled down. And then you got the whole thing about this company being involved called Blue Star Strategies, kind of like Fusion GPS. Remember the whole thing with the Christopher Steele dossier? It's kind of reminding me of that. So he might have that on his back to deal with.
But do you think he'll be the nominee? Or do you think this is just too much and they'll kick him out?
He'll be the nominee because they don't have anybody else. They don't have another choice. If they had somebody else, he would have been gone a long time ago. They would have pushed him out, similar to the way they did Bernie back in 2016. But they don't have anybody else, so it was like, what can they do? Might as well just put him out there, and they figure they might lose anyway, so what's the point of putting a winner out there? We could preserve them for a later date. We have a better chance of being able to succeed. Not right now. So, he'll still be the guy.
Oh, man, I wish they were going to kick him out because the more and more I'm looking at it, the more I'm looking at him and Stacey Abrams as VP, and I'm like, no, there's still a chance they can win. There's still a chance they can win. I mean, I know you say not to look at the polls and everything, but every time I look at something that says Trump going down, Biden going up, Trump going down, Biden going up, and it's like it's depressing. You know what I mean?
I hear you, but, it was the same thing in 2016, same thing with Hillary Clinton, and we saw what happened with that.
Yeah, I know. Oh, thank you, ABL. Thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Same to you. All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And thank you all for being here. You guys are fantastic. And number to call is 434-658-1220. Let's get to the next call. Let's go 561. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. This is Jay from South Florida. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Not much, man. Been busy dealing with all these COVID patients, man, at work. So been busy. I couldn't call you for like 2 weeks because of all the. I see what's going on with Ahmaud Arbery incident, man. Everybody who I thought were conservative going after you guys, especially Candace, one, Brandon, number two, because they're the two main ones, and then you're like the third guy. There's a lot of grifters and haters and jealousy of you guys, man. I'm surprised.
Yeah, but that's been going on. That ain't nothing new because they're not successful. They're not very successful. Not like we are. So they want to come at us. So this time is opportunity to try and say, hey, these guys ain't real conservatives. They're this, they're that. But see, they think that maybe if they hate on us enough, they can become successful through like osmosis. Like it'll help them. But all it does is just keep them right where they are. You don't succeed by hating. You succeed by being good at what you do, not by hating. But they don't understand that.
Yeah, because we already know Trio Logic. We've been, there's a lot of fake conservatives, man. Like this Ahmaud Arbery thing, man. I'm disappointed in Diamond Silk, Angela St. King, Maj, Pastor Darrell Scott, and Tony Okafor. I'm really surprised with. Amelia Lucas is always a flip-flopper, and Colin Noir, disappointed in. Lawrence Jones on Fox News, I can't watch him no more. And Leo Dunson, damn, I didn't know he was that angry with you guys. Like he was saying all kind of things about Candace and Brandon. And Hotep Jesus, we know he's weird. And I'm really disappointed. A lot of Christians, especially like Ali, Ali Beth Stuckey from Blaze TV, she was saying this is a hate crime, this is white supremacy. And I said, Ali, without evidence, how you gonna say these things? It's like, come on, wait till the evidence come out. It seems like the only true conservative that's standing their ground is you, Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse always stands his ground. Brandon, Candace, Larry, Minor Jamal, Will Johnson, and Bryson. That's it.
Right. Yeah. And it's a shame, though. It is.
It is a shame, yeah, because if the guy did nothing wrong, why are you running? Let's say you're sorry. I didn't know the trespass. Like me, I would have said sorry. I didn't know I'm not allowed to trespass. I was just looking at a profit. But he run. That gives people suspicion. You know what I'm saying? And I watch a Hotep Jesus channel with all these fake conservatives, and on Tony Okafor, the Second Amendment. She was saying, where's our humanity? Like, she was talking about Brandon Tatum, where's your humanity? He shouldn't die. And, like, what you want to do? The man grabbed a gun. What you want to do? Is him take the gun and kill the white guy? That would have been better for you? I mean, come on. Like, feelings without facts is crazy. She don't believe in citizen arrest, and she don't believe in him carrying, because you're allowed to open carry, so he could take the gun out of his truck. Like, these are laws that's there. Like, she just, like, don't believe in it. I'm like, what? And she goes, Second Amendment lady? Man, I was so surprised about her. And when when white guy killed black guy, it's outrage. But when a black man killed another black man, nothing. Crickets. Asian man, Hispanic man, Indian man kill a black man, quiet. Tatum said something really funny. I was laughing on Twitter. He said all these people should go back to being Democrats.
Yeah, they should.
Not conservative.
Because I was saying that before. I was saying that a lot of these people, they're still in their mind, they're still liberal. Like a lot of them, they came over to conservatism recently, but they don't understand what it's like to be a conservative. All they think is that they can just vote for Trump, say some conservative things about being anti-abortion, pro-gun, and they're conservative. It's like, no. You got to change the way you think. You got to change your mind, because your mind is the reason why you were over there on the left to begin with. If you don't change your mind, you might as well stay over there on the left and just be a conservative Democrat. It's okay, because, I mean, let's be clear, because a lot of Democrats voted for Trump and they've not changed. They still Democrat, and that's fine. That's okay. Yeah. But stay over there and just be that rather than thinking you're conservative, because you're not.
Right. Because I heard them, they were saying their main goal to me, it seemed like they want to take down Brandon and Kennedy. They're talking about they're the gatekeepers. I said no, because they want to change white, especially the white conservative, they want to change them to their thinking. And I said, no, a lot of white conservatives are going to wait for the evidence to make judgment. And a lot of white conservatives are also Christian. And, the Bible also says we shouldn't defend the wrong, the wicked. And you shouldn't, and those who do wrong should be punished. So that's in the Bible. So that applies to Aubrey. If he done something wrong, I'm sorry. If he leads to death, I'm sorry. He was, so they trying to change conservative movement and said no. And then when you have Michael Singleton is your leader, who has always been an anti-Trumper, and everything liberals do, he agrees with everything. So how can he be a conservative? Like, so I was laughing. I saw him on the Grapevine and I saw him on the Hotep Jesus channel. Like, this guy is a fraud.
Yeah, like it's like I'm not really sure what makes him conservative. I don't really get it. I don't see the conservative values in him, because, like I said, you can't just vote one way and say, okay, I'm conservative. You could be a Democrat and vote for Republicans. Like in West Virginia, everybody's conservative. It's a super red state, but they'll vote for a Democrat. Like, people don't really think that deeply, and then they kind of get lumped in with the rest of us, but they're not like us. They're still liberal, and that's the greater problem.
Right. It's like even more evidence that they were like more liberal than they think it. Because one guy said, we need health care for everybody, and all of them agree. So that's a Democrat talking about. That's not conservative. Like, yeah, I believe in white supremacy. Come on. And then what makes it so bad, ABL? You're defending a guy who's a felon. I don't know if you saw that video that came out with Aubrey with the police in 2017. He looks like he has pent-up anger and rage. And, he has his pants halfway off his butt. This guy looked like a thug to me. And this is what you're defending?
Right, I saw that, but I mean, I think we all knew that would be the case. And you know what? And I knew that would come out right when the whole thing happened. I knew there'd be more videos that come out, there'd be more evidence that comes out, it'd be more things that we see. And I knew that people that had an emotional take from the beginning wouldn't care. like I was saying on Twitter, he could have had a hostage. He could have been in there smoking crack, cooking meth in the house that was under construction, and it wouldn't matter to anybody that has already been invested emotionally into the case because they already think that it was white supremacy, it was modern day lynching, and that's it. Nothing will change their mind from that, and it's ridiculous.
Right, and we defend the worst type of people, and we criticize our very best. So, and then what's so funny? They say, "Oh, he was trying to change his life around. He was going to school and all that." And then, when did he change his life around? After he died? Come on.
Right. That's all. That's the classic one right there. That's every time somebody get killed. Oh, you know, he was trying to do good, trying to go to school. He's like, he's 27, sir. He was not going to do no better. He was doing wrong when he got killed, and that's why he got killed.
Right, and they worry about his one death, and we have so much other issues to worry about. So many people dying by other black people and abortion at a high rate. Come on, don't put emotions in this. And Leah Dunson, man, I don't know if you saw his last video, man. He was going off with Candace, calling her, you know, when a black person in the house. I don't want to say the word, but she's married to white people, and she's only pandering to white conservative. And he talking about all of you guys. Oh, you only want to make money. You only doing this to sell merchandise from your store, and then discrediting Brandon, talking about he only likes white women and he's paid by TPUSA and he's only pandering to white conservatives. Like, wow, this guy was really a grifter, man. Like, I'm done with him.
But you know, it's weird because Leo has a mixed daughter that's like
I remember that.
And he was married to a white woman himself. So it's like, okay,
right.
Sir, you were married to a white woman, got a mixed daughter, but Candace is wrong for being married to a white man, and Brandon, same thing. I don't understand. You were the same as them. So what's the difference? And it's really ridiculous when you're talking about race. We're like I said, that's that liberal mindset. That's that racism. When you come to the right, when you're more conservative, you got to get rid of that racism, worrying about black, white, all of that. You can't be having that type of mind. Like I said, if you still want to be on the left, you want to be a conservative Democrat or however you want to identify, do that. But don't say you're conservative. We're not racist over here thinking about black versus white and stuff like that. We're trying to get away from that and become more as American citizens and not just our own little individual enclave of people.
Exactly. And this is my last thing I'm going to say. Lawrence Jones, I'm even more disappointed. Him on Fox News, I can't even see that man the same because he was behaving he was like debating Brandon Tatum. He was supposed to be a moderator. But he failed to realize, he talking about all the Republicans. We have Republicans that agree that it was wrong. But he failed to realize a lot of Republicans are rhinos. They're anti-Trumpers. Of course they're going to agree. They're not really conservative. And and one more thing. That black light-skinned guy you had on Skype, what's his name? Gorilla, Snatch Gorilla, whatever his name is?
Yeah.
I would be careful of this guy. He has a YouTube channel. He made a video about you, ABL, and his goal is to change you guys because he really hates Brandon Tatum because he called Brandon Tatum the ultimate statist. So be careful of that guy. I'm gonna send you his link of his YouTube channel. He about what he has specifically for you, and then the other conservative super chat because I've been super chatting you the last couple of weeks from my name is called Jay's Danger Room.
Okay.
Yeah, but be careful of that guy. He's not too fond of you guys. He don't like that, especially with this case of Ahmaud Arbery. He was so angry at Brandon Tatum because, he's just a cop. He's the ultimate statist. I don't know what a statist is.
Somebody that is like really in favor of the government and the state and wants to do everything for them is less about individual freedom from what I have gathered from what they say.
Okay. Because his main goal is to change you guys' point of view. So no, guys, you and Brandon and Candace, stay on your beliefs. Don't change. We got to see beyond race. It's about facts, not feelings. So I'm going to super chat you. I'm going to send you the link with the video of you, he said of you. And you know what, ABL, man, like I said, man, hopefully you're safe, man. I'm just hanging in there doing with COVID patients, and I guess I'll talk to you another time, man.
And thank you for the call, man, and be safe out there, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, now.
Bye-bye.
All right, my man Jay from South Florida. Shout out to him for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. He's a nurse out there in Florida. He's dealing with them COVID patients. So shout out to my man. You know, be safe for sure. All righty. But yeah, it's a whole lot going on. You know, Lawrence Jones, I saw Lawrence Jones on the thing, on the debate, and he was way different than he is on Fox News. Way different. He's on Fox News. It's a whole different guy. you pretty much hold the line when you're on Fox, but then when you get on the debate on YouTube, you're a different person. You see me, I'm the same everywhere. You can see me on RT, you can see me on my channel, you can see me in person. I would say the same thing. It don't really matter and the reason why we're successful doing our social media thing, I'm hearing some weird noises. The reason why we are successful doing our thing is because we're authentic people. We're real people. You know, that's the main thing. But people that come off kind of phony, come off kind of fraudulent, it's hard for them to succeed. They got to have, you know, a Fox News behind them, pushing them out there when they wouldn't normally be successful in this space. Like, you could be on TV or something like that, working the job, and that's fine. But to be in this space, you got to be really self-starting. You know, you got to be the kind of person that can bring an audience and can attract people. But if you don't have it in you, then you just won't be that. You might need to go work a job and do that. Have everything structured for you. Have everything set up for you rather than creating your own lane. Alrighty. But let me get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Oh, and there's no divide among black conservatives, really, because people that are speaking against us have always felt that way, really, or they've been like that for a long time, or they're irrelevant, really, to the movement going forward. That's just my opinion. But let me get to the next call. I had somebody I wanted to answer right there. Hold on. Let me just wait a second. Let's go.
The number to call is...
All right, caller, you're in the line. I'm going to speak it to 347.
Joshua.
All right, Joshua, what's going on?
Not much lately. Well, New York City, Brooklyn, actually New York City has become the Looney Tunes of the coronavirus.
So is everything still locked down?
Well, we're slowly starting to open up in upstate, actually.
Okay.
Not in the city.
Right. Okay. I see.
Yeah. So, yes, we're still locked down in New York City, which is, again, I'm pretty tired of it right now, to be honest with you.
Nah, I hear you. I mean, people are at a certain point going to say enough is enough. I'm ready to go and do my own thing.
But here's the thing, though. People might apply to it because people here are sheep in New York City, except in Staten Island. Majority of the boroughs always vote Democrat, and they're sheep. They follow the line.
Yeah, I can see how that would work. They just do whatever, and then, you know, they do what they're told, and then if you're not doing what you're told, then they want to snitch on you. They want to take pictures of you on their cell phone, put it on Instagram, Facebook, and then call the police and be like, hey, he was doing X, Y, and Z. He was not social distancing. So they want to call the police on you and get you in trouble.
Right. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. And it shows how, totalitarian our state government is with dictator Bill de Blasio and the Godfather Cuomo here.
Right.
And it really makes me a little bit jealous that I live in Tennessee because things sound good right now over there. There's no lockdown, no arrest, haven't made, and there's no force mask policies down there.
Yeah, it's all good down here, really. Like, there are some little, the only thing we got down here is the restaurants. You still have some tables blocked off. They're like at 50% capacity, but beyond that, it's all good. There's no problems. I have no complaints at all. I'm really, and the traffic is back to normal. Everybody's pretty much back to normal life. We're not really locked down at all anymore.
Right, that's good. That's great, actually, because where I work at right now, you're forced to wear a mask in my workplace because that's where our government is told right now. If you don't wear the mask at all, I get terminated at my workplace.
Hold on, wait, what happened?
So basically, as I said, if I don't wear my mask, my mask in my workplace, in Manhattan, I might get terminated.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. It shouldn't be like that. You should be able to, not wear a mask if you don't want to, and keep your job.
It's because you got to you got to protect yourself from the virus. But here's the thing, though: viruses can still go through your mask. It's microscopic. You can't see it through your eyes. They're not scientists. The scientists know that even though you wear a mask, you can still get the virus.
I mean, even Fauci said that. He was like, it might stop one little droplet, but it ain't really going to help you like that much. Not really.
And hell, even wearing a mask all the time isn't good for you because it might affect your lungs. It might affect the way how you breathe. It might hyperventilate and die.
Yeah, it was a lady that had her mask on while she was driving. And
in Ohio?
I'm not sure what state it was, but she ended up crashing her car. She didn't die, thank God, but she crashed her car into a pole because she passed out. She couldn't breathe.
Right. It's pathetic. And it's annoying with these mask policies and social distancing.
Yeah, have you seen some of the signs in the store? Like, do you guys have Walmart in New York City?
No, I don't see Walmart, but I did see an image where the people were in a circle, spread out. It's just stupid.
Like in Walmart, they have little arrows on the floor, and it says you can't enter an aisle in a certain way. You got to go like up one aisle, down the other. But nobody follows that. We just pretty much walk over the sign. Yeah, it's crazy. Like at a certain aisle you go into, it'll say do not enter. And then the other one have a green arrow says you can go in that way and go up and then come back down the other aisle and come out the opposite direction. You can't always go north and south.
Is this Bioshock? Does that sound like Bioshock?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And another thing I want to point out before I go is the incident one where the so-called black conservatives bashing real concerns because of the shooting that happened in Georgia. All that say is they should go back to the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I mean, because they've not left the Democratic Party. They're still over there mentally.
They still act like liberals.
Yeah, because the thing about it is I can have a conversation with them and disagree, and that's fine. But all the hating and attacking, that's that liberal mind state to where everybody got to be the same thing. That's not how we are.
Right, because like last month, I hate to admit I do say the N-word sometimes when I get angry. It was last month, so basically my mother was angry at me because I was saying like N-word, the hard version of the N-word, and she said, "Oh, it's not okay when a white person say it." And I mean, it's not okay when a black person say it. It's like, hold on, wait a minute. I was like thinking like a couple of weeks ago, it's like, does that mean a certain person is okay to say the N-word, and Asian person is okay to say the N-word, but a white person not okay to say the N-word?
Yeah.
Does that sound like hypocrisy?
Hey, that's what it sounds like to me, man. But hey, I thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
All right, now take care. Shout out to my man Joshua coming from New York City. All right, caller, you on the line. 757, who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Greg from Chesapeake, man. How's it going?
Everything's good, Greg. What's going on, Chesapeake? That's my place where I grew up at for a long time. Went to Indian River High School.
Yep, I know that, man. The old stomping grounds for you.
Yes.
So I wanted to call and talk about something about taxes, man. So one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot lately is where is our tax money going exactly? Okay? I mean, you can say this program, that program, but I want to know where every dollar that I'm personally giving the government goes. And I think that with the technology they have, banks can track money everywhere. They got to be able to show that to us. And I feel like if they showed that to us, there would be a world of change immediately. What's your opinion on being able to see that?
That's a really good idea, because there's somebody trying to talk about the Trump giving the tax returns and whatnot to the public so they can see everything he has going on. They want tax returns and also financial disclosure. They want to know all the stock money is going. They want to know everything about him. It's like, okay, now if you want that from Trump because he's in this position of power, now how about you as a federal government, local government, state, city, county, whatever, give us a detailed, itemized sheet of where all of our money is being spent. All of it. I want to see the waste. I want to see the surplus. I want to see the debt. I want to see everything. You know, the salaries, any kind of benefits, which you wrote off. I want to see everything. That'd be good, because if we're able to see that and we're able to study it and go through it, we're going to protest on some things. It's like, wait a minute. Why'd you spend $2 billion on this or on that? We don't need that. We don't use that. What's this for? What's that for? I think you have a very good point.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. I mean, I've not gotten into politics, but I wish if we could fundamentally change that and we knew where our money went, I think people would be a lot more inclined to pay attention to it. Because my end goal would be, I mean, we have to get back to smaller government. We have to. If the founding fathers knew that we were paying 10 times amount in federal taxes and state taxes, they would have said, you're doing it wrong. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, your money should be going to your local community. So if we can track where our taxes go, all of it, and figure out what our essential needs are, then you can just contribute your money to your local area's essential needs. You're able to see exactly where it's going, and you can break it down so much easier. And I mean, I think we would just see all the wasted money that this federal government spends. I mean, it's both sides of the aisle. It is out of control how much money we're spending.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I want to see that happen sooner than later, because I love to know where the money's being spent. And then, you know, they keep raising the taxes. So it's like, why are the taxes being raised? Did you not have enough money already? Like California would be a prime example of this. The taxes are already high and they're in a deficit. So where was the money going? If the taxes are so high, you still have a surplus. Why do we have this big debt? What's going on? So good point. Good idea.
Right. Yes. I mean, that's something that I think, you know, you probably got a lot more influence than me, but get people to start talking about that, man. We need to see where our money is going. I want to see where our money's at. I mean, if you have nothing to hide, it should not be a problem. And you work for us. It's our money. The government is not a business. They do not make money. They take money. And they're spending our money God knows where. And I would like to know. And I think if we get enough people, you know, with that message, hey, show us where this money is going, all of it. I want to see, I mean, I'd love to be able to see every dollar of my taxes and what it goes to. Every single dollar. Like, okay, this amount just came out of my paycheck. You can track that for me and say, hey, Mr. Trayman, this is where your money went. I mean, you know they can track our money. Come on now.
Absolutely. 100%.
So, yeah, man, love the show. Keep doing what you're doing. But, yeah, man, talk to anybody you know. That's something that I think we need to push from our politicians is show us where this money's at. Because if they did that and we pushed hard enough and got that, I think things would change real quick.
That's right, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, ABL, you too, man. God bless you. Have a good day.
God bless you. Shout out to the caller coming from Chesapeake. Shout out to Barry Otis, who says, I grew up in Georgetown, Chesapeake, Virginia, ABL. I know Georgetown, call it GT, right off of Military Highway. I know all about that. Shout out to Georgetown. Yeah, I used to go over there a lot, actually. I got guys that live in Georgetown right now, so shout out to Georgetown. All righty. And thank you to everybody that's calling in. If you like what you are hearing, give me a like on the video. Hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. My super chat list is somehow weird. It's like all of them are gone. Normally, it's a little list right here that has past super chats, so I can't read them right now, unfortunately. But hopefully they come back and I can read them. But they're not right in front of me. They're gone somewhere. I don't know where they went. Alrighty. Thank you, True Helper. I appreciate that. There's some links right there that True Helper has posted. You got my website, my Patreon link, and also my podcast on Anchor FM. This video you're hearing right now will be a podcast. It'll be available on Friday morning. And the one that I do on Saturday will be available Monday morning. 10 a.m. always. And you can go to Anchor FM and see all the platforms it's on. Because Anchor is kind of the spawning point for all the other platforms. I'm on iTunes. I'm on Google Play. I'm on Spotify, Stitcher. Of course, Anchor itself is a platform for audio, streaming podcasts, and everything else I'm on, pretty much. If you have a podcast platform you use and you enjoy it, just search ABL Live on there. I should come right on up. Alrighty, let's get to the next call. All right, caller, you on the line. 27, who am I speaking to?
Good afternoon, last speaker. Dr. Logan?
Speaking.
Dr. Logan, how you doing?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
It was a pleasure talking to you, Dr. Logan. So, are you recommending that people should take hydroxychloroquine as a preventive to not to get COVID-19?
I think that it has had effective uses to fight the virus.
No, but as preventing. Like I take it.
I think it has had effective uses in preventing the virus and fighting it.
No, preventing the virus.
I said, sir, you're not listening to me. Mm-hmm. I said I think it has had effective uses in preventing and fighting the virus.
In what kind of studies?
Oh, from doctors from all over the world. You got French doctors talking about it. You got Americans talking about it. There's all kind of things that have been put out. So, I mean, you tell me.
So people take it. So people go and the doctor prescribe it from the doctor, take it, and they won't get COVID-19. This is something that is being. They have results, 50% result that in different type of age groups that this works, or this is just something that you just made out of your head. Which one?
Well, no, there are people taking it as a preventative measure because people take
as a preventative measure.
Yes.
Which study? Which study?
I mean, you tell me.
No. You are the one who I'm asking you. You telling me.
I'm going off what, sir. I'm going off of what the doctors say. Now you ask them about the studies. I'm telling you.
Which doctor say this?
A lot of doctors say it.
But who are they?
I mean, if you want me to produce a report, I'll get it right over to you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I would like to see your report.
Okay, great. Okay, so what else we got?
This doctor who's prescribing hydroxychloroquine as a preventable drug to prevent it from getting COVID-19. If this is something that, or there's a study, or they say they're already doing it.
They're already doing it.
They're already doing it officially.
Yes.
So I could go and talk to my doctor and ask you to prescribe me hydroxychloroquine and take it, and I should not get COVID-19?
Well, number one, I don't know if a doctor will be able to do it for you. But number two,
why not?
I'm not done talking. You be quiet. Now, I'm not sure if your doctor will be able to get it for you because I don't know where you live or what the situation is as far as the drug being available in your particular state. Doctor might not want you to do it because they have their own opinion about what's going on, because not all doctors agree about what the proper course is. Some say remdesivir, some say hydroxychloroquine, some say ventilator after you get it. All of them are different, but beyond that, it's a preventative measure, meaning it's to prevent you from getting it. You might get it even if you're on the drug, but it's to prevent you from getting it. It's like wearing a seatbelt. If you get into an accident, it's to prevent you from getting hurt. You still could get hurt with a seatbelt on, but it's to prevent injury, not to 100% eliminate possibility of injury. Does it make any sense?
No, it doesn't make any sense. Why the FDA dropped the hydroxychloroquine? Not even for treatment, never mind for preventing a drug as a, to take it.
So
before you
what did the FDA say?
They say that it's a drug that doesn't provide the results, plus it's too much risk for people to advanced age to take it, those who are more vulnerable. So pretty much you suffer from some sort of heart problem, high blood pressure. It's not worth to give you hydroxychloroquine because it might kill you from a stroke rather than help you with coronavirus.
So what are they basing that on?
But so
wait, sir. I had a question. What were they basing that on?
They're based on different type of studies.
Can you name one?
And you mentioned Neil Cavuto. Neil Cavuto is a journalist. You are not. You're an entertainer. Let's get the facts right here.
Can you name the study that they referenced?
The Columbia University study says they have 40 people in different type of age groups. The younger one did better. But what Neil Cavuto was saying, those who are older, President Trump, how old is he? How's he Trump? How's he our president?
He's 73.
73. So most people at his age will be at a high risk, right? 75, 68. Those are the ones that are overweight. They might have high blood pressure. They might have diabetes. So if he say that it's safe for him to take it, what do you think people around his age are gonna do?
Okay, now,
I mean,
I'm gonna answer. You're gonna be quiet. Now, Neil Cavuto, like I said, is not a doctor. He's a Fox News anchor. He's a finance guy. He's not a doctor at all. Now, Trump has what's called a doctor. He has a doctor, the White House doctor. He consults his doctor. As I'm talking, can't nobody hear you at all. Not that can I, because I mute you. But anyway, I can my headphones unmute you. But Trump has a doctor, the White House doctor. He will consult his doctor to see if this drug makes sense or not for him to take. If the doctor says yes, then he'll take it. Now, if I'm Trump, whose word do I take? A guy on the internet screeching, that's you, Neil Cavuto on Fox News, the finance guy, the anchor, or my doctor? Which one? You tell me.
Okay, but let me explain to you.
So which one do I take the word of? Which one do I take the word of? A guy on the internet screeching, you, Neil Cavuto, the finance guy on Fox News, or my doctor?
Your doctor.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right then. Case closed. Move on to the next thing.
Which administration the doctor works? His doctor work for his administration, right?
So you saying the doctor would just do whatever Trump say?
That work in the
so now you're trying to say the doctor is not a good doctor. So now you're trying to say the doctor is not nothing.
For say that this drug is not.
Okay, so who does
doesn't give you good results?
Who does Fauci work for? Sir, who does Fauci work for? Sir, are you listening?
I'm on.
Who does Fauci work for?
Fauci works for Trump.
All right then. So do you take his word?
I take his word because he works.
All right. So Fauci, wait. So Fauci works for Trump. You take his word, and that's fine. But Trump's doctor, who was a doctor before Trump became the president, obviously, you don't take his word because he works for Trump. Okay, I got it. It makes perfect sense. Right on, Bucko.
So okay, see, his doctor is going to prescribe, and everybody in the administration say, no, this is not a good drug.
Who's everybody? Who's everybody?
Okay. Fauci say no. Deborah say no. Brooks say no. The other, the how do you call it? I can't remember their names, but all of them for the task force say no.
Now, Fauci says remdesivir. Wait. I'm gonna come in and pause. You can't, if I'm talking, can nobody hear you? Fauci says remdesivir should be the way we go forward. And that's an experimental drug. It's not been very well tested, and it's expensive, and it's shoot through IV. So is that what we should take? Remdesivir, an untested drug, something that's kind of new, experimental, and IV? Should we take that instead of hydroxychloroquine?
No, that's not what he said. That's not what he said.
He sure did. He sure did.
That's not what he said.
He sure did.
You always twist it. That's not what he said. He said, if we take all the drugs, because there's not only chloroquine and remdesivir, there's all the drugs that they give you, drug for pneumonia. They give you all the type of drugs. He said, this is the safest drug and the most efficient. And he doesn't even approve that drug because he says, we don't have a drug that specifically targets COVID-19. That's what he says.
So if the drug is not approved, why would he say it's safe then? If it's not approved?
Yeah, but he said.
Oh, so it is. So it's been approved. So wait a minute. So the FDA says it's good. Fauci says it's the best one. So
no,
what did I say? So what did I say that was wrong?
Safe and efficient, safety.
Okay.
You don't want to give a drug to somebody that is 80.
So wait. So what did I say that was wrong, sir? You got to be quiet. What did I say that was wrong then?
Huh?
What did I say that was wrong?
Because that drug is not preventing.
No. See, you're not listening. Again, you're not listening. You got a problem with listening. You talk too much. Talk less, listen more. I was talking about remdesivir. What did I say about that drug that was incorrect?
You didn't say nothing that was incorrect, but that.
All right then. So what are you arguing about? What are you even arguing about? You just arguing just to argue.
Look, we
okay. So check it out. I don't have any time left for you, sir. So say your last word, then I'm out.
Prevention.
That's your last word. All right. Have a nice night. All righty. It's funny because you know what? I've had that argument before about people will trust certain Trump administrative people, but not others. Okay, Trump's doctor, who been a doctor for a long time, obviously before Trump came into the White House, you don't trust him because he works for Trump. But you trust Fauci, a guy who's been a disease expert for a long time before Trump, who works under Trump. How are they any different? They're not any different. But to Ivan, he wants to believe in Fauci because he sees him as an anti-Trump person. But the doctor, he does not know, so he automatically assumes that he's pro-Trump and will do whatever he says, even if it kills him. Although he knows that if he were to kill Trump, you're talking about death row, rope, gitmo, big rocks, little rocks, all that good stuff. It's kind of weird how that works. But anyway, let me get to the next call. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. 787, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, there's a caller from Elizabeth, New Jersey. I mean, the mayor over here is using drones and stuff, and I don't really, to be honest, that type of stuff is like China stuff, to be honest. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's pretty much what it is, because a lot of these drones come from China, directly, and a lot of them report back to a Chinese server. All the data, all the pictures, video, audio, they're getting all of that to a Chinese server. And the thing about China is that you can't operate as a business if you're not in bed with the government. They know all of what's going on. So everything that's happening, they're getting back. And the theory is that China are getting information about the infrastructure through these drones. They're kind of spying on us, and we're paying them to have them spy on us.
Yeah, man, that's true. And I also want to talk about this, the schools, because I'm a high school student, and all this work, man, I'm like an A student, but right now my grades is going down. Each week I can't keep up. I'm not even sleeping. I mostly sleep 4 hours a day if I can, because all this work is coming from the district, and they just give us essays to do, and that's not my only class. And I got a bunch of classes. I'm an honor student, and my grades are going down, and I can't, I can't keep up.
Are you in class, or are you at home working?
At home working, e-learning.
See, that's probably what's going on, because normally you be in class, you can be around your friends, you can interact with people, you can get taught normally, and then you would have a real class. You go to class, you got work, you got certain things you want to accomplish. But now they're really giving you a bad education, because that's kind of how it was when I had a teacher that quit in the middle of the school year. They give you worksheets and essays and stuff like that. That's a bad education. You're not really learning. They're just kind of giving you busy work to say that they taught you something, but you're not really learning at all. My advice to you would be to do the best you can on the essays, but educate yourself more than or try to fill the gap yourself. You got different things online, Khan Academy and stuff like that. Read certain things that are interesting to you and get educated that way, because what you're doing right now is not really learning, in my opinion. Because, matter of fact, I'm going to ask you, are you really learning anything from doing essays? You could be honest. Yeah.
No. Actually, I'm getting the answers from other friends, and everybody's passing around the answers, and they just see the work and they put 100. You know what? I'm going to tell you about my math homework. I switched it up, and I took a picture, and then I sent it to my teacher. She gave me 100. So she didn't even search up. She didn't even check the homework. So it's are you kidding me? You're not even going to check the homework?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. So I wouldn't worry about everything that's going on. Just do the best you can, because, do you want to do college? Do you want to do trade school? What's going to be your plans after school is over with?
Naval Academy, if I can, but, I don't know, man.
You got to have a certain kind of grade, GPA requirement for that?
I have a 3.5, so I should be fine right now.
Yeah, so I say don't worry about it, man. Just do the best you can as far as getting stuff done, but don't be putting pressure on yourself to do it, because what they're doing right now is giving you busy work. They're not really trying to educate you. So my advice would be just get through the essay as best you can. Don't worry about getting everything perfect. And if you have time to yourself, educate yourself for things that you're interested in. Don't even worry about the curriculum or nothing like that, because they pretty much throwing it away. They're going to keep you at home. You can't go back to school. Focus on Naval Academy, getting ready for that. So then once you get into the Naval Academy, you be more prepared for that, rather than be worrying about school and not getting much sleep. So that would be what I would do if I were you.
All right, thank you, ABL. And I just want to say one more thing about that last guy. He didn't even know what he was trying to do, man. He he didn't even know what he was saying. So I just wanted to say that. And have a good night.
Thank you for the call. All right, now.
All right, bye.
And shout out to the caller. Yeah, don't even worry about like you could pretty much just get answers because they don't even really care. They're not teaching you anything. Get the answers the best you can on the essay, but educate yourself. That's the key. Educate yourself in the time that you have, but don't put pressure on yourself, not sleeping, and then focus on a Naval Academy. And then once you get there, you'll get more proper and structured education and a better environment for you. Alrighty. So let's get to the next call. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. 539, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Lois from Oklahoma.
Alrighty, what's going on?
I just want to say something. I'm not going to name names here, but I heard somebody on another podcast say, some woman called in and said, from Indiana, saying that the governor in Oklahoma was something about mandating vaccines. Our governor's a Republican and a businessman. He would have never done that. He didn't even shut Oklahoma completely down.
Right.
Only big like football games and casinos and stuff. And the only places were shut down or wasn't completely open were businesses did it on their own.
Right.
Without our governor. And we just won a case in court just recently. Our governor signed it saying that there's not going to be no red flag laws in our state.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's great because that's a real big problem. Red flag law. You're talking about all your rights down the tube.
Yeah, and they passed it in the House and the Senate. Went to the governor. He come in on a weekend and signed it. Said now it's official. No red flag laws in the state of Oklahoma.
That's excellent. Absolutely.
And I get tired of people trying to say something about my governor. I voted for that he's a Republican. He's a good guy. He's doing everything he can to help Oklahoma. We haven't had that many cases here in Oklahoma.
Right.
And
yeah.
He said he was not going to shut the state down completely because he knew small businesses needed their jobs.
Right.
Anyway, I got something personal I want to talk to you about.
Alrighty.
I don't want to drag this out too long. But, you was talking about going to Florida and humidity.
Yeah.
How bad humidity was. I went out into California. I lived in Hoopaw, California. I know a lot of people don't know where that's at. It's Indian reservation. And we'd have to travel 52 miles. It took 2 hours because we'd have to go down a mountain and go to Eureka, California to get groceries and stuff. Because it's an Indian reservation, they didn't have a whole lot of groceries in the store. Then a year later, I come back to Oklahoma. I thought I was going to die. The humidity was so bad that year in Oklahoma. I thought, oh, my God, I think I want to go back to California. It was that bad. I mean, I just choked when I'd walk out the door.
It's terrible because you can't even breathe. It's like, what's going on? Like, it's confusing a little bit. Like, the heat is just, it do something to you. Yeah, like, that's how it was. When I came out of the airport in Miami, I was like, wow, this heat there's something else. The humidity.
Yeah, and when I come back from California, I got so used to the mountain air, and I come back to Oklahoma. I was only out there for a year. I left on 4th of July and come back on 4th of July. And when I come back, humidity was extremely high in Oklahoma that year.
Right.
And I did live in Redding, California, too. Crazy chick Sheena or whatever her name is. I hated that town with a passion. But anyway, it's just funny, when you think about it. And I heard you saying that, and I go, well, I remember that. And that was back before the 80s. So anyway, all right. You're the only show I can get a hold of, and that really irritated me because that show is one people that I wanted to talk to, and I never can get on. I can always get on your calls. Can't ever get on them, and I wanted to ask them. say something about that woman that said that from Indiana about vaccines here in Oklahoma. No, our governor is not going to mandate no vaccines.
Right. That's excellent. That's good. Very good.
Kind of irritated me.
Alrighty.
Because I couldn't get on and say, no, that's not true. I don't know where she's getting her information from, but it's not from people in Oklahoma. Not our governor.
No doubt. Well, I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, ABL. I appreciate you taking my call.
Alrighty now.
All right. Thank you.
Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate it. And shout out to you guys as well. Thank you for the super chats. I got your email, Jeff from South Florida. And thank you for the super chats, man. You sent a link to my email about a black bald head guy talking about you. Alrighty. So this is Snap Turtle. Apparently it's a video about me. I've not seen it at all. I don't know what's going on, but there's a link right there in the chat. You guys can check it out if you want to check it out. Shout out to Kimberly who says, love you, ABL. Keep up the great work. Thank you for that. I most certainly appreciate you. I got like 5 of the super chats. I don't have all of them. It's weird. Like all of them aren't really there. So that's all I got. But I know there are more. So if you donated to me recently and I did not read your super chat, I'm sorry, but thank you for your donation. And shout out to all the PayPal donators and also the Patreon people and also those that have signed up to become members of the channel. You're most certainly appreciated. Alrighty. Let me get to the next call. 712, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Al from Iowa. How you doing tonight?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, good. You've had a couple great callers there. We had one caller that I kind of want to comment a little bit, and he had a great point there about, should be auditing the where all our money's going for. If you really think about it, I want people to think about this too. We're pretty much a country that's a lot in debt. And last I looked, which was quite a while ago, I thought it was like 25, 26%. What are we buying for that?
That's a very good question.
I mean, you're paying interest. When you take a loan out, you have to pay interest. And that interest is not buying us a damn thing. It's going to the banks or going to whoever holds the note. So, which is a lot. China owns a lot of the notes. So basically all that interest that we are paying is actually going back to China. Just want people to think about this on Economics 101. So when does enough become enough when you keep paying more and more interest? We're at, let's say, 25%. Now you got $2 to $8 trillion more going there. Now all of a sudden that 25% can become 33, maybe 35. We had if I remember right, it's a $2 trillion or $3 trillion economy that was going. Right now our economy is not $2 or $3 trillion a year. It's probably barely making $1 trillion, if it's even making that. So there's a lot of waste in there, and you're right. We cannot have another Nancy Pelosi 3-point-whatever trillion, add a few more trillion to it. You're just going to get faster to that point where all of a sudden 100% of our taxable income will be paying the interest. So that's there needs to be cuts. There needs to be a balanced budget. There needs to be get this deficit down. That's basically it. Now, you had one caller there. He's talking about the police, and I've kind of brought this up before with you. The police department, I mean, there was a couple comments that they were writing that if you had a very wealthy neighborhood that's basically supporting their own neighborhood, they're going to get a better protection force than, for instance, a poor part of town. I mean, logically, it makes sense, wouldn't it, or not?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so I've always said this. The police department needs its own budget, and it needs it not to be dictated by City Hall. Because then you get mayors sticking their nose and say, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. The police department should be a separate entity of the municipal departments. Okay? So now it falls down to voters need to find a mayor that you need to vote for and basically say, we need to change this. We need to change this to where the police department has their own budget, where it's not dictated by the city. That's kind of the big thing. Now, on May 7th here, I'm going to kind of bring up a fast report here. I kind of try to text you this a little bit, but or not text you, but wrote in here. Okay, on May 7th here, we have Supreme Court ruling, basically 9-0. That basically it said that they ruled against the Ninth Circuit, court, and basically it goes back to where administration that makes it a felony to encourage illegal immigrants. Your question, or one of the questions of the gentleman that you had there about Gavin Newsom, that he's trying to get, what is it, 75 billion or million or billion or whatever for illegals, is that right?
Yes, 75 million for illegals.
75 for illegals. So basically, would he not be also breaking that law right there? That basically he is encouraging illegal immigrants. Good question. I mean, just a question thrown out there. I mean,
yeah.
Sanctuary cities are going to have to worry about this too, because now, if this is, I mean, this is a 9-0 ruling that just happened on May 7th on the Supreme Court. That basically, if you are going to give aid to illegals, you can be actually charged with a felony. So maybe we can have Newsom in handcuffs here soon if he gives us out. Just a thought.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, if you and I did it, we would be thrown. I mean, if we would all of a sudden put, let's say, for instance, this example, we go to the desert and we throw a bunch of water out there, would we not be also aiding the illegals to come in?
That's
across the border?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
That's what it seems like. So, to me, that I'm hoping, I think that maybe we'll see it, that maybe we'll have to wait till a little bit before the second term of President Trump, and if we get the House back, keep the Senate, that maybe we'll see these governors and sanctuary city mayors, that everybody that starts doing this, they need to be brought up on charges. That's how I feel about it. I know if it was me, I would be thrown in jail. Same way with you. We would help them people. And this also includes people that are hiring people. If they're not going to look up their status as being American citizens, they're going to just hire illegals. They ought to be charged too. I don't care, businessman or no businessman. You know what? You've got a responsibility to the country first, not to your pocketbook. I mean, I understand the pocketbook issue, but you still have your right is for this country. If you want to be in this country and do business, you need to do it that way. So anyhow, ABL, that's all I have to say. And I love your format. I thank you for talking with me, and hopefully you have a great day.
Thank you for this call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Let's get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 951, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 951. All right, I don't know what you got going on, 951. You got you playing the drums in the background. I don't know what's happening, but I had to hang up on you. Sorry. I had to get to the next call. 206, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hold on one second. Let me meet you. ABL? Yeah. Tonight I'm a pissed off patriotic prepper parent. Matter of fact, a young lady, do you want to say hi to the one and only Anthony Brian Logan and thousands of the coolest people on the World Wide Web?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Hi, ABL.
Hello. How are you?
So, sorry, I pulled it away. Ethan, how are you?
Hi. I'm good.
All right.
So, yeah, man. So, basically I'm ready to homeschool, I guess. You know, got into it with the superintendent, had my Rand Paul moment. You know, I wasn't always in a position where I could pull my kid from school because of the free daycare. But, you know, they're trying to give away the likeness on Zoom at the same time. Google and Tesla are telling their people not to use it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give my kid's likeness away for free. You got to pay her for it, Dad. You know? And so I basically let her know, you know, my body, my choice. I have to fight for all of the liberal principles that I believe in. And I'm sure that that drove her nuts. And basically, yeah, man. I mean, they're the contact tracing, and the mandatory vaccine idea. Man, I ain't going with that, man. So I let them know that I'll be pulling her if they decide to try to reopen with anything different than the previous year. Otherwise, they're just picking on all the kids who have, existing conditions. Then they pick on all their friends when they get it. This is ridiculous, man. And the bat coin is ridiculous too. The new 2020 quarter. You seen that?
No, I've not. Oh, I did see that with the actual flying bats on it.
I just got one in my change today, and it scared me.
Wow.
Whoa. I know, right? They got to mint those coins up way before, Ivan. Somebody called Ivan a homosexual about a month ago. I'm still laughing about that. And I'll give you a list if you still got time at the end of all the doctors he needs to look at. But did you hear about that Tennessee COVID concentration camp down in the Nashville fairgrounds?
I've been hearing something about that, but I've not looked into it really deeply. Do you know more about that?
Well, I saw an article that a guy escaped, and the concentration camps are, what are they called? COVID detention camps are, and that has to do with like Inslee's executive order. It's just so broadly worded. It says isolation and quarantine, and they're hiring thousands of people for it. And right now, they're hitting the people who are on parole and the people who can't argue about it, and then they isolate and separate. So I thought that they would quarantine me for a month. I'd have to shut my business down. Then I found out, if I don't test positive and my kid does, they can take her out of my house legally right now.
Wow.
The way it's worded.
So wait a minute.
I told that to the superintendent, and she didn't disagree with it.
So is that in Tennessee or is that Washington State?
Well, that's in Washington State, but the emergency powers pretty much gives each governor the ability to basically be judge, jury, executioner, and crazy, man.
Okay.
Essential employee versus, I don't even like being an essential employee. You know what I mean? Everybody's essential to me. But I just wasn't sure if you had gone down there and looked at it yet.
No, I've not heard about it. I've been hearing about it a little bit, but I've not looked into it really deeply. That's about 2 hours away. I'm about to go check it out.
Yeah, I went down and checked out some of the medical, tents, those giant pole barns they put up. They got one in my neighborhood, and the only people I ever see there is cops in the front of it. So, basically, science, man. That hydroxychloroquine has a lot of words in it. All right, and sodium hypochlorite is bleach, right? And in certain municipalities, they put that in the municipal watershed. So if you fill your swimming pool with tap water, you don't have to add any extra sodium hypochlorite to it for like a week or two. There's so much, right? Then you got chlorine dioxide, okay? That's the main ingredient in water purification tablets. For the Q fans, it has 17 protons and 17 electrons, right? Then you've got carbon dioxide. And up here in Washington, that's what we use because it just evaporates away, right? But the watershed just did a force majeure saying they're running out of carbon dioxide to purify the water, right? And then you've got like sulfur dioxide. They sprinkle that all over fruit. And the studies even show, to kill viruses, cancer, all that. And they, they can even admit that smelling flatulence helps prevent cancer because of the sodium dioxide, right? So you keep seeing dioxide, right? Kills germs, viruses, and all that. And when they get into it about the whole drinking bleach thing, what they don't want people to know is that the chlorine dioxide that the naturopaths that they're attacking are talking about is water purification tablets. So that's always been approved, just like the hydroxychloroquine. Not the chloroquine. That's bad for you if you didn't see Dr. Drew the other night. Same thing with all the doctors have been saying, right? So, the Sermo study with 7,000 doctors, 40 countries worldwide, Dr. Shivas, Stephen Smith, Dr. Drew agreed with that, the Anthony Cardillo, Dr. Batar, Dr. Zelenko, the study in Marseille, Professor Dolores J. Cahill, the PhD in immunologist, Dr. Yvette Lozano. And what they're all saying is that the licensing board is threatening them to pull their licenses because everything's an observational study that I'm quoting. Legally, they hide behind legal. You can't call it a real study unless the licensing board does, right?
Right.
So they'll pull, And then they'll probably send CPS out over to get your kids, just like they did in Oregon to the debt salon owner. I mean, this thing is crazy, man. But, I'm going to give a shout-out to Nippon, wherever he's at, and the Brexiteers. Hey, Tommy Robinson. Hey, Tommy. Right? And then the Italian government wants to arrest Bill Gates, right? And they leak him that Biden phone call. So, oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. That's what they chant in Italy. And then the French one, Cop Johnson, right? Macron, démission. Macron, démission. Gilets jaunes. Gilets jaunes. You know that song?
I've not heard it.
Like, oh, you should. Okay, Cop Johnson, man. You should put on a yellow vest and be him for Halloween. In France, you'd be against the president, right? You'd be against the prime minister, right?
That's right.
In Iran, man, you'd be a liberal, bro.
Wow.
Everything's relative. You know what the Anthony Brian Logan chant is?
What's that?
It's a hard one. It goes, hey, Anthony, how you doing?
See, no.
Shout out to Skittles, man. Oh, sorry. They cracked me up.
Yeah, it's ma'am.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, basically, I wanted to call in and say, hey, Skittles would like it if you did your entire show in a romper. You might be able to get 1 million views, man.
Not going to be able to do it. Not happening.
No. What about cowbell?
Hey, what I got right now was pretty much it.
You want to do the whole show in Asmer? You want to whisper the whole show? Just give me ideas, okay? Like Devin Nunez, I'll give him the idea to leave California, man. They're always an exception to the rule, I'm telling you. Amazing Lucas, did you see his live stream yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so somebody pointed out that you had called him out about the cleaning you up like a spill on aisle 5. Yeah. And he said he didn't believe it. And then he did a pretty good little impersonation of you, so you should check that out. It's about 3 minutes in to his symposium on gangsters who rob stores with watermelon helmets. I don't know, but it was pretty funny. So if you guys debate, just remember you're on the same team too. Okay, remember that.
Oh yeah.
You just wear your wearing your hats different ways, man. But when it boils down to it, you're both on the same team. Just remember that,
No doubt.
And tell everybody not to listen to Susan. Okay. Take your vitamin C, eat your vegetables, clean your room, do your homework. These are all, prepper parent tips. Wash behind your ears, brush your teeth, and then you can floss like Dougie on the ABL show, right?
No doubt.
Everybody sleep tight. ABL, don't let the billy bug bite.
All right, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right, shout out to the caller. And shout out to Lucas. Lucas, if you were surprised that I said you can't beat me in a debate, if you're surprised at that, I've said that to you live on the stream. I said that. I said you could not handle me in a debate. Like, I'll tell you again, you could not handle me in a debate. It ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to do it. You could play this. You could play it back, do an impersonation, do whatever you want to do. You can't touch me in a debate. You get washed. It wouldn't be no contest at all. Because when I debate, I know my subject matter. If I don't know it, I'll be like, I don't know nothing about that. Ask somebody else. But if I debate, I'm going to say things that you won't even be prepared for because I know my subject matter front, back, side to side. That's just kind of how that goes. But let me get to the next call. 210, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL. What's up, bro? It's Nick Taylor.
What's going on, Nick Taylor? What's happening?
Oh man, I'm just sitting here watching the show and I'm cracking up. I come online and some guy sound like he's escaped from Romania and want to complain to you that Romania is better than here, but he won't go back.
Exactly.
And I'll be nice with it, bruh. That's crazy. I just watched it. I watched the link that you put up about somebody making a video of you. I watched 30 seconds and I clicked it off. I ain't watching that, man. Bruh. Trump's remedy. Look, the ABL. Wait a minute. Help me out here. Don't we have this thing called free choice, free will, freedom of choice sometimes? Now, help me out, bruh. I know you're a smart guy. You smarter than me. Notice the people that's crying about you not having access to chloroquine, however you pronounce it, are the same people that ain't said a word about mandatory vaccinations. You notice that? Everyone that cries about that not even being available to you, no one's forcing you to take. You see what I'm saying? No one's trying to force you to take that, but they don't have a problem when they have you ever heard one like the guy, Mr. Romanian, even though he's probably not Romanian, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Did he ever, in that whole diatribe, did he say that he was against forced vaccination?
I did not hear that.
I didn't hear that, and the reason you didn't hear it is because he didn't say it. But he's totally against ABL making a choice, maybe flipping a coin and making a decision with your life. With your life. Not letting somebody else make a decision with your life, with you taking charge of your own life. That's one thing I noticed with those people, and I'll use that phrase carefully. Now, businesses reopening on their own. My little part of Texas, we never closed. But you know, we're not a major metropolis, and then CNN fell on their faces with that lie. They come out 2 days later, after the state of Texas opened up, the COVID-19 cases are through the roof. ABL, how long does it take to get a test, and then once you get a test, for them to get back either a positive or a positive negative? I think it takes a little more than 2 days.
It does. I mean, and then the thing about it is, I mean, who knows how long they had it before they got tested, and then it was a positive result. I mean,
exactly.
Right.
Look, you know that, I know that, but the thing is, they know that they love misleading people, and they know people won't do any research on anything. And, you know, like, because you think somebody would stop and say, how did they come up with that in just 2 days? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What is the average saturation rate for 2 weeks? Well, if it's 2 weeks, how did you come up with this in 2 days? I mean, you're full of snot. You're full of crap. You know what I mean? And you're doing it on purpose. But I'm not paying them no attention. I don't know anybody down here. We're supposed to be so, but then they put at the end of their article, they're less than 9% of Texans have been tested. And where'd you come up with this number?
Right, exactly.
We're 20 some odd million people down here in Texas, and you're gonna come up with this number of 1,448 cases. 1,448. That's out of 20 some odd million people, and this makes front page news. What am I missing, bro? Because you know Texas is what, the third most populous state in the United States?
Yeah, it's a big place.
You know,
a lot of population and a lot of land area. Spread out. Yep.
Spread out.
Yep.
Yeah. And I tell people, you got to go a mile one direction to get to my next neighbor, because you know I'm in sticks. You got to go almost a half the other direction to get to the next ranch. I like it like that.
Right.
So, and they got the top 20 county. Our county ain't even on the list, but it's a farce. The whole thing is overblown, because then you got one well, you shouldn't wear a mask, but you said we're the one that's supposed to wear the mask. And you're breathing in the same stuff. Now I'm hearing about elderly people passing out and trying to go shopping and whatnot with masks on. You know what I mean? Because, you know, breathing is restricting your normal breathing, and you keep breathing the same thing. And then most of the people you see get sick are people like in nursing homes and whatnot and all that other stuff, because they breathe in the same air. I don't want to go to a hospital right now. That's where all the sick people are. Stay at home.
Right.
I ain't going to a hospital. Yeah, I'm not sick anyway. But anyway, How many? You always hear people, what, staph infections, all kind of infections people catch at hospitals before all this stuff. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to split. Bruh, notice we always talk about the flu and pneumonia numbers, the deaths throughout the year, right?
Right.
Each year, the last big breakout and all this other stuff, 48,000. Notice you haven't seen any numbers from anyone on the current year flu season, normal influenza, and pneumonia death numbers. Why? That's a rhetorical question.
It's a good question. It's a good one.
Yeah, but well, we got to mix them numbers in with that. Oh man, this guy got stabbed with a knife, but we tested him. Oh man, COVID-19. That's not how he died. He died from a knife wound. No, but he had COVID-19. What? Look, they playing the game. We have one of the worst outbreaks. I've done a video on it for the 2019 flu season. Texas broke a record. You didn't hear a word.
Right.
And now we're not even hitting 6% of that in COVID-19, and everybody's social distancing. Okay, bro, I'm good. Hey, good to talk to you. I'll holler at you later. And them 75 million for illegals need to go to American citizens and its vets. And that's all I'll say. You be good, brother, man.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, always appreciate you.
All right, now.
Bye.
Shout out to my man Nate Taylor for the great call as always. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for joining. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Alrighty. Now, somebody said Lucas did an impersonation of him. I'm trying to find it. I'll do that later. I ain't worried about that. Let me get to the next call. 951, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? All right, 951. I don't know what's going on with you, boss, but you got to tighten up. All righty, caller. I see your name. Oh, is it Snap Turtle? You can't call back twice, man.
I know. Real quick. I know you dropped that link. I did want to talk to you about that, but I'm gonna hit you up on Saturday about it. I just want to let you know.
All right.
All right. Yeah, all right. I know you can't twice.
All right.
What's up, man?
Let's go. 424, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Devin Knocker from Biometa RX. How you doing, brother?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
Very good, man. You know, I just wanted to give you a shout out, man. You got a great show. I've been listening to you for a while. I did a video. I do videos on my channel, Biometa RX TV, about holistic health, and I did a video about chlorine dioxide. Man, I had it taken down. But before it got taken down, this was right when the whole COVID thing first kicked off. And before it got taken down, they had a lot of likes. A lot of people were speaking up about it. Chlorine dioxide, like the guy said before on the previous call, chlorine dioxide does work, man. It is an effective thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people have said it. A lot of doctors have said it. But I feel like YouTube wants to play doctor. They want to act like certain information shouldn't be out there. And I feel like there's a motive behind it. Maybe they have certain business interests that would kind of conflict with information like they're being out and available to the public.
I think so, man. And, honestly, I hate to go too deep down the rabbit hole, on your show, but, this kind of goes along with a lot of what, the Q drops are talking about as far as, picking up all of these people for child trafficking or whatever. It seems like there's a huge conspiracy going on in the tech world to censor and block information right now. This is it's a very interesting time to be alive, and I think that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that they're not talking about, that the news is definitely not talking about.
Right. Yeah, definitely. But I think that they're all kind of on the same page with it. They're all kind of like the news media, a lot of the tech companies are all kind of on the same page to suppress information.
Yes, they are. Yeah. They're losing power. They're losing power over the world right now, man, and they're not giving up without a fight.
Yeah, that's right. You're absolutely right about that.
Yep. They're losing their grip. Well, Trump 2020. I just wanted to give you a shout out and tell everybody, keep your eye on the prize here. We're going to reawaken our economy very soon, and you got a great show, brother. Like I said, swing by my show on Biomed RX TV and on Devin Lockett. I'm going to be going live pretty soon as well.
All right, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Stay up, man. Have a good one.
All right, now, peace.
Peace out.
All right, shout out to the caller. Shout out to the super chatters. You guys have been great. Thank you to Stacy Felice, who says Apple is auto-installing COVID tracking tonight on iPhones. Turn off auto-install. Hey, glad I got that good old Huawei. I got to worry about China, but at least I don't have COVID trackers on my phone. You see what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about earlier. People talking about, the Chinese phone. But what about the American? What about that? What about that Google? What about the Apple? What about that NSA spying on you? What about the COVID tracker spying on you? See? Not a fan. Thank you for your donation and your suggestion. Definitely appreciate it. Again, if you didn't hear that, she says that Apple is auto-installing COVID tracking tonight on iPhones. I think the way it works is with your face recognition, it'll track you through that. And they can see you with your mask on too. That's a new update they did before this most recent one. All right. Shout out to Nick Taylor, who says, my man, peace, chat. Hey, thank you for that. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you to Jeffrey, South Florida, who says, if the police were stopping Lamar after trespassing, do you think he would resist arrest and get shot? Because I think he'd be dead anyways. Good question. Good question. Could have happened. Definitely appreciate you for that. Shout out to Squished 300 ZTT, who says, shout out to my haircut lady, E. Norma Styles, for opening back up in defiance of Gavin Newsom's order. Shout out to her, and hopefully she's not alone. There will be more that open up and defy that crazy order. And shout out to Vincent Michaels, who says, thanks for keeping the truth and level-headed common sense out there. Hey, that's all I can do. And thank you for your donation. Most certainly appreciate you. Let me get to the next call. Nippin, what's going on?
Oh, not much. For a second, I thought I'd have to wait until the next call.
You're on, man. What's going on?
Oh, well, track and trace could be a thing from June in the UK.
So how are they going to do that?
Basically, they are, I think, pretty similar to what you guys are doing there in the States.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. And have you watched Paul Joseph Watson's latest YouTube upload?
No, I haven't.
Oh, he goes on about how this thing is ritual humiliation for breaking the social distancing and the lockdown.
What is he talking about? Like ritual humiliation? Like, what did they do for? Is it like kind of like being shamed publicly for breaking the social distancing and stuff like that? Okay.
Yep. Now Germany have come up with some idiot. They've come up with such a stupid way of keeping social distancing. It is pretty hilarious. Let me just show you. Let me just show you what they did. Social distancing. Yeah, look at this. Do you see it?
Oh yeah, I've seen all kinds of stuff like that. I've seen the hats with the little tubes on it. I saw a guy, he had like this big disc around him. Yeah. Another guy had a big inner tube around him. Yeah.
I mean, that's stupid. I mean, like, I'd much rather stay at home.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd much rather get a takeout than look like an idiot.
Right, now I hear you.
So yeah, I'm not doing that. If I want to go to a restaurant, I will go how I want, and I don't want to look like an idiot.
Yeah, I'm not wearing a hat with styrofoam tubes on it or anything like that. I'm gonna go just the way I normally am. That's it.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, Gavin Newsom, I am calling you out. I mean, how dare you? There are so many unemployed people in your state. and you care more about illegal aliens. How dare you?
Yeah, that's really crazy. But that's what Gavin Newsom does. And then he has the nerve to ask for a federal bailout. It's like, how are you going to have a federal bailout when you're giving money away to illegal aliens? You could save some money by not just spending it on things you shouldn't be spending it on, things that are illegal to spend on.
Yeah, there'll be no money left if he keeps doing that. So how can you expect a bailout?
Yeah, good question.
So yeah, businesses are starting to reopen on their own. Yeah, good for them for defying the lockdown measures.
That's right.
So yeah, that's pretty much what they do these days. Like a lot of people in the UK, a lot of the protesters were business owners saying, "Oh, my business is failing because of this lockdown. You have no idea how much this is affecting my business."
Yeah, it's really rough because people still got to be able to eat, still got to be able to make a living, and if they can't have their thing open because they're being shut down by whatever business, by whatever government entity says they can't be open, how are they going to be able to eat? How can they survive? They can't. They got to be able to be open again and get back to work and get things going as normal.
Yeah, that's how it should be, but yeah, well, the Prime Minister said hopefully things will be back to normal in July. I'm like, okay, I have no choice, really. I'm not okay with this.
Now, do you believe that July will be the cutoff?
I think so.
Because, my faith is kind of shaken because a lot of these governors, a lot of these mayors and whatnot over here, they'll say, okay, we're going to let you guys go back to normal on this day. And then they keep pushing it back constantly over and over. And then what they say is normal is not necessarily normal.
They have too much power, the governors over there in the States, especially in places like California and who else has and New York. Yeah, they have too much power there.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword because you don't want so much power from the federal government. You want more individual states' rights. But at the same time, you got to have people that aren't dictators in power in the state level. You got to have good leaders at the state level. The issue with California is Gavin Newsom, Xavier Becerra. Yeah,
he's a dictator.
You got bad people in charge. Now, hopefully, the voters in these places will recognize what they have. They recognize what happened in their state and then vote for a different kind of person next time they have a chance to vote.
They're not going to vote for a Republican. I mean, that ship has sailed.
Even if it ain't Republican, at least not somebody as bad as a Gavin Newsom or a Andrew Cuomo.
I mean, they should go for at least like a centrist, at the very least.
Yeah, at least.
Like someone like who can basically see from both sides of the argument, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
Like who's not completely biased to the left, but who's not completely biased to the right either.
Right.
So yeah, that's what they do. That's how I think California should be run. I mean, if I was living in California and I wanted to run for a major office like state senator or the governor, what I would do is register myself as a Democrat, but just give conservative ideas, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be the way to go.
So that I can remain electable, but then govern the state without actually turning it into a massive, pardon my French, hellhole for the rest of the state.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, that's it, what they do. And yeah, track and trace is what's happening in the UK that's what they're saying. And Yeah, go on.
Yeah, well, hopefully, they are not going to be too invasive. This whole track and trace thing, I'm not a big fan of. They're trying to trace all the data to see where you're going, how long you're going there, if it's social distancing and stuff like that. I'm not really a fan. This is getting way too far and beyond what we should be doing. But hey, I got to wrap on up. Thank you for the call as always, man. Definitely appreciate you.
It was nice catching up with you, ABL.
Likewise, man, for sure.
I shall speak to you on Sunday.
Alrighty, Sunday your time, Saturday my time. I got you, boss.
I shall speak to you then.
Alrighty.
Peace.
Alrighty, that'll be a wrap for me. Thank y'all for joining. Most certainly appreciate you. Like I said, this show is every Saturday and Wednesday. Wednesday and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. Doing a live show, and throughout the week I do pre-recorded videos. I got the website, I got the merch, I got all that good stuff. Merch links in the box, website link in the box, everything's in the box. Thank y'all for being here. Shout out to all the super chatters, the PayPalers, the Patreoners, the members, everybody. If you're watching, like, subscribe, share, whatever you do, thank you for what you do. And hold on, I got one more super chat. Thank you to a definition of anarchy who says, you got great mods, my guy. Keep on one tuck. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. And you guys are great. We got True Helper, Omar Adams, Michelle A, Ansel, Bill from the Hills. I think I saw Elijah Jean earlier. Yes, I saw Elijah Jean when I said Ansel. Thank you to all the mods, Shreeds, for doing a good job. You guys are fantastic. Michelle A, of course. You guys are great. That's pretty much all I got for tonight. So thank y'all for joining yet again. I'll be live again Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern, as always. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.